Last time, you guys started with a small encounter with a troll and some troll hounds. It was a bad time. One of them was a little well, it had some issues with its luck as it rolled a bunch of nat ones in a row. Didn't really do anything to you guys, but Danny started off strong, setting a bunch of them on fire. You killed a bunch of the two troll hounds.
We almost died. We beat some things. We're now impersonating officers, and Danny had to go talk to something in a hallway.
That's pretty much covers all of it. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, damn. Don't be so fucking angry.
Azalea did not really
Oh, no.
all the time. I'm not the barbarian, but I am angry. I'm not sad rogue, I'm the mad rogue.
You're brooding, it's just anger.
You guys
Angry all the time.
You guys also saw a prison cart with one woman named Mihaela in it, where she'd murdered a bunch of her neighbors, and she was being shipped off to the capital. Allegedly, you're right. I guess that's fair. She hasn't gone to trial yet. Let's see.
Information right there.
You guys went to the Dog Rose Inn. You met Gabriella and Tiffany. You guys bought yourselves rooms for 2 weeks, as well as for the dwarf folks who paid all of you back for that. Yep, you guys went over to the strange house, the murderer house, and found a bunch of like meat hooks and an open leg trap, and Azalea found out that the eastern wall was hollow. And Tor was like, I don't see anything, and still managed to open the door by accident. So good job, Tor. Yeah, and you guys like opened it and then closed it, and then opened it and then closed it. And then at the last minute there, Danny, you had asked, "Are you okay?" in Undercommon, and then everything kind of went dead quiet.
There you go.
There you go. So that's what happened last time, and now, as you guys are kind of standing here in this basement, Cyra's kind of dancing lights, kind of just orbiting her. The cellar door opens nearly silently, and you see these strange shadows behind the being at the door. It's dead quiet as this strange form before you stands patiently about 10 feet back from the doorway. Its gray fur is grimy, and its massive teeth are all yellow and worn.
It's a werewolf.
Its eyes are this kind of bright red, just as those of the multitude of rats at its feet. It wears this kind of grubby brown shawl over this tattered beige tunic. Its tail is bright pink, and its whiskers kind of form almost like a goatee. And it's leaning on a cane. Well, to your horror, you realize the cane is not just made of wood. It appears to be like a humanoid spinal column, topped with like a tiny skull with his rat-like hand is kind of holding on to. It's hunched back.
Concerned for your own life, dumbass.
It's hunched back, puts it around 5 feet tall or so. It's just kind of staring there. Who speaks Undercommon? Is it just you, Danny, or does anybody else speak Undercommon?
Nope.
And so as this creature kind of looks all of you up and down, he just sighs, and in Undercommon says, "It's."
Size in Undercommon.
Well, I was gonna say, as if you let me continue my statement, it's fine. You're the worst.
Right.
In Undercommon, it says, it's been a long time since anybody's asked me that.
He cries.
On closer inspection, yeah, he looks like he's fairly close to maybe having an emotional break here. The rats are hanging out at his feet. They're not doing anything. They're not moving. But he continues and says, It's been too long since anybody's visited me down in my warren. Who are you?"
Pause.
No, commit.
Well, I'm my name's Danny, and yeah.
Yeah, not
Right.
your real name, which you just kind
Yeah,
of.
hey, you're not. You can't understand what he's saying.
I hear Danny.
Uh huh.
Stick that.
Paragon.
And so
Anyway.
says, "Oh, it's really nice to meet you. I'm Louis." And he kind of like he's got the cane in his kind of left hand, and he puts his right hand over his heart, and he does a slight bow. You realize his back is really hunched already.
I'm gonna bow back.
Danny, what the hell is he saying?
It said his name's Louis. It's Louis. Louis. Yay!
What the hell is he doing with a skull and spinal column for a fucking...
Sure.
Tor.
Apparently, he's being calm and reasonable and having a conversation. And so, for as much as possible, we should try to do that too. Please.
Well, I haven't whacked him yet, so I'm being calm.
There's a perfectly logical explanation for the body parts. Continue.
Maybe you should wait outside and make sure we don't get flanked, like somebody doesn't come down the stairs and kill us. That's what I would.
That would be really good. I would also appreciate that.
Maybe you should fucking answer my question.
Well, he did answer your question.
Louis just kind of like looking back and forth. He seemingly doesn't
Louis.
understand what's happening.
Please excuse my companions. I'm so sorry. Man, it is great to see you. I know exactly how you feel. I lived underground with rats for a long time, and they're not always the best companions, but they're somebody.
roll a diplomacy check.
15.
he looks at all of you and he kind of smiles a little bit and says, "I suppose that it's not so bad. I've lived down here for a really long time. I'm just glad that somebody came to see me for once. Have any of you seen Mihaela? It's been a few days."
Oh, Mihaela. And then I turn back to comment to everybody else like, hey guys, he's asking about Mihaela. What should we tell him?
If he
He's
speaks,
arrested.
Uh,
We don't have any reason to lie to him right now.
in Sylvan, I'll say, Louis, do you speak Sylvan? No reaction?
No,
Okay.
he just kind of like turns his head a little bit.
I look back at Louis. Like, Louis, hey, so bad news. She was arrested by some people up top. So, she was taken to a jail and probably not coming back for a while or ever.
As you say this, he looks genuinely distressed. And, how am I supposed to eat? I wandered up here a few years ago, and I've stayed here with her for so long, and I can't go back. I don't want to go back. And he kind of like he starts stepping backwards a little bit, like away from you guys. He's very clearly in distress.
No, you don't have to go back. It's okay. Give me a minute to talk to my friends. Well, hold on.
And so he kind of stops, but like you see, it's not just like 4 or 5 rats. It's like there's like 8 fairly large rats and like 2 large swarms. There's like 20 or 30 rats in this hallway, like surrounding him. And they kind of like move out in front of him as like almost like a shield, or they're protecting him almost.
Guys, like
he
this
stops.
dude's gonna get upset and he's gonna attack us. Like, what do you want to? I don't know what to say.
What does he want? What's happening?
He's
Mihaela?
I think Mihaela fed him and kept him company, and she's gone now, and he doesn't want to go back to the duper hell or wherever he came from underground.
Give him a ration. See what he gets.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll hand him some food. I'm paranoid and always have food on me.
So do you just like hold it out, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of hold out this parcel,
Up. I am very small.
well, you hold it up, and then he doesn't come forward, but like one of his large rats like carefully creeps forward. Are you gonna like lower it to the rat? Yeah, and it just like very gingerly, like it stands on its back legs and like grabs it and then like shuffles kind of awkwardly back to Louis, and he grabs it and he sniffs it and he kind of looks at it, and I'm gonna see if you guys. Yeah, all of you see his eyes like light up, and he opens it and he just quickly stuffs his face with it. He doesn't even care what it is. He just eats it. He goes, oh, you, Danny, you have wonderful friends. I'm so glad that you came down here. This is what. Could I get more of this food? I don't even know what it was. It was just. And the rats seem to kind of like back off a little bit, but there is like some loud chittering that kind of like echoes, and you actually hear some of it like in the walls, kind of around you.
Okay, so I've got a great idea. This is undercommon.
Uh-huh.
I think we can get you lots of food all the time, but maybe not friends, but food. I don't know. Let me talk to my friends real quick, and I'll turn back and talk to them in common. Hey, do you think we could like just leave them here and tell the village that this is like a garbage disposal and they could get cool with it and just throw trash in here?
I don't know that we're going to be able to like halt the investigation because House Trifu is going to want to like use this estate.
Yeah, Mihaela killed everybody. She's gone. Whatever. And then yeah, we can make it a garbage dump. I don't know.
Well, do we know like where he wants to live? Does he? I don't know. Like, I get he wants food in the immediate short term. What does he want long term?
Hey, Louie, what do you want to do long term?
Roll a diplomacy check.
19.
Yeah, he's just like, I just, I don't know. I really like living here, and I had a really nice little warren. But if Mihaela's not coming back, will you stay here with me?
Louie, I lived underground with rats way too long. I moved up to the surface. It's really cool. You should try it. Maybe. I don't know.
Give me another diplomacy check.
I believe in you.
2.
You're for blood. I made him roll a 2.
Roll a perception check for me, Danny.
Oh gosh, this is
I believe in you.
not gonna go well. 22.
Wow.
Paddington, relax.
Okay, so
Okay.
as you watch Louis go through a bunch of conflicting emotions, right? He seems to like you guys, but he also doesn't want to leave. And you watch him for a minute, and you kind of get the sense that he's probably getting ready to run, because it seems he's more afraid of the outside world than he is of you guys, and back into the underground is behind him. So
Louis, you should probably go back. There are lots of very nasty people up top that will come down here and try to clear you out. It's not nice. It sucks. I know, but maybe we'll run into each other in the future. I would love to come down and like have some trash with you, someday.
and he like looks at you guys, and there's just a bunch of emotions going across. He's like shaking, and he just like turns, and you see his hand go into his tunic, and he turns around and.
Being told to kill people? Like, are we gonna not focus on what he knows about her?
Well, I mean, is it going to change anything anyway? Like, Mihaela's already gone, and
I don't know. Maybe we can come tell the investigators we got the right tips and she didn't do it, and then she'll come back, and then this whole situation can be avoided. But you know,
do you think she's still alive?
I
don't know.
She they caught her.
Hey, Lou,
One at a time. One at a time.
Okay. They caught her sawing someone's leg off. She is guilty.
It's true. They did say that.
She did that thing. Even if she did it for...
Somebody said. Maybe she didn't have a complete psychotic break. Or maybe she did.
Where are all the bones from? It sounds like she was a mentally unstable person heard voices on the walls, Louie, saying, "I'm hungry, feed me, feed me, feed me," and so she fed him, her husband, and her neighbors. And
Doesn't he know that though?
what?
Does he know that?
No, he may or may not know what he ate, but she almost certainly knows what she fed him. We can try asking.
This situation is probably getting a character from the only person we know who knows that's still alive.
I can't hear you.
All I'm saying is when it comes to investigating, we probably should be getting something of a, like, who is this person, like, from the only person we know who knows her that is still alive.
I agree. I don't think there's a world in which she gets to come home. I agree we should talk to him more, but I don't think there's a world in which she comes back.
I'm not saying we think she is, just we make him think she is.
Oh.
Maybe that's not good either.
I'm
anyway,
sad.
figure it out.
I am gonna give him some stuff before he backs up too far.
Are you gonna like move into the tunnel with him, or are you gonna like just throw it at him, or what?
Just up to the door of the tunnel and set it down.
Okay. And so he's backing away from you all, and you see that there is an iron door, like iron bars, and he's like backing towards. One of the rats comes forward and grabs the parcel that you give him. And he doesn't close this other door.
Echo on.
Yeah, echo on Slugger. So it's always on you guys that don't have headphones. This is a nasty echo, but
Jeez.
the worst.
Jeez, the worst.
But anyway, so he gets to the door, and you watch as he turns around, and you hear a lock unlock, and the door kind of squeaks open, and he closes it.
You are so whiny.
Yeah, it's the worst. I imagine having to hear myself twice. It's the worst.
You think I'm annoying?
You did it the first time.
I'm not talking.
So he he opens the door, and he scuttles through, and he like closes it behind him, and you actually hear him lock it. And he like specifically you, Danny, because you seem to be at least most connected with this guy. He seems very conflicted as he like kind of skitters off into the darkness. And you watch as his form, that of a kind of a hunched rat person, disappears into the dark as it gets smaller and smaller.
Did he take the parcel?
One of the rats took it and went with him. And so yeah, the gate is locked, and he just skitters off into the darkness.
As he's going, I'm gonna yell, "Hey Louie, there's some food in there. There's a cigar. You can set it on fire. It tastes good. And then 1 dose of violet venom. Use it to kill something if you need to."
And out of you hear it echoing out of the dark. You hear fire, and he disappears. But now it seems that this secret little hideaway is open. Obviously, there's a locked gate there now on the far end, but it doesn't seem like there's any rats there anymore. The rats all went with him.
So what do we do?
Well, he left, so that's good. I think mission accomplished.
I don't think he's gonna go very far.
There's a lot of tunnels, real deep, long way. Probably painful memories here with his Mahala and all that. Why would he come back? Nobody's here to feed him.
They're gonna put someone new in this house.
Yeah, well, we could just tell him, like, hey, maybe seal the cave that goes to the underground, like, because that's a bad thing. It's like plugging a hole where rats come in, literally.
Actually, I guess if we explain what's going on and we seal up this hole really well, and also, I guess this problem?
Yeah, but I don't want to seal the hole. I want to make somebody else seal the hole.
Yeah, I've done my fair share of hard labor. Someone else can do it.
So there are
I'll
other
come
rooms
back.
in there. Go ahead, Tor. Sorry.
I was gonna say, how sturdy does this tunnel entrance look? Does it look like it's like really like carved out of some rock or something?
No, so the tunnel before you is carved out of the dirt, and it's got like wooden supports kind of holding it up. But you realize that you're so close to the surface that if you collapse this, you just make a kind of a big tunnel-shaped like trough in the ground that would kind of fill in where this all is. So it's not. It's sturdy enough for now that like if you were to, punch the wall, it wouldn't collapse on you. But if you purposefully pulled the supports out, then yeah, you would like it would be obvious on the surface that something was underneath it that had collapsed.
Could we close the door and break the opening mechanism, the mechanism to open it from the outside? So that Louis, if gotten himself in dire straits, could still get out, but no one could open it from this basement?
I think Louis. I think the cave system, because I understand caves. I think it connects to other caves. It's just part of a larger network. It's not just a hovel. Like he's going back down. He'll find another way out. We can close this forever.
Are you able to do that, Danny? You able to disable the mechanism?
Maybe.
Could people trained in disable device intentionally break a thing?
I suppose you could do that with thievery. I think that would be okay. Let me look. That is a great question. But
there's no disabled device in this one.
Yeah, it's not the same, but you could do probably thievery might have an action associated with it.
Yeah, there is. Still, I mean, actually, oh shit, I have the tab pulled up.
Yeah, disable a device requires it's a trained action. You would need thieves' tools, and it's 2 actions.
All right.
But
I can't do it.
as you guys had seen the first time you opened the door, there's that kind of straightaway through that iron gate at the end, and then looks like there's maybe a room off to the left and a room off to the right in this tunnel. But other than that, yeah, it's just this mechanical door that you'd be able to disable.
Should we explore the rooms we can get to in case there's any evidence there?
Might as well. We're here.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe there's like some shiny things, some coins and stuff, because dead people and things. Maybe she's got a lockbox with all their belongings.
God, I hope it's not just my bones.
Okay, who's going in first? It's
I'll go if I have no impulse control.
Okay, yeah, it's a 5 foot wide hallway, so one at a time. Yeah, Cyra, you go in. You have left and right.
Right.
Okay, so you look out over to the right, and you realize that there's actually it's a small little hall, but there's 2 rooms. So there's 2 rooms on the right.
Careful
The
with
right
traps.
room.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will be looking for traps because I already saw the bear trap.
Okay. Yeah. So you're being extremely attentive as you walk through, and there doesn't appear to be any sort of traps or anything like that. And this first room, Cyra, is perhaps maybe 10 by 15 feet wide, and you see it. It has a bloody table on the far end of the room. A very neat array of butcher's tools. You see a small rack with a skin kind of stretched across it. And it looks like leatherworking tools. It kind of stinks in here. But it's, other than the obvious blood and on the table and on the tools themselves are surprisingly clean and well kept. Even the leatherworking stuff is clean and well kept. This is there's nothing in here otherwise. But yeah, that's.
Can I tell what the skin is?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably a person.
Gross.
It's looks like somebody's back maybe.
Oh, horrifying. Okay, I'm leaving this room.
Okay. Do you go into the other one?
When I
I
go
do.
in, I'm going to confiscate all this stuff and take it topside with me and
Okay.
bury it in the yard or something.
Yep. So you got you remove the skin from the rack, and you get the butcher's tools and the leatherworking tools. And then as Cyra is moving into the next room, Danny and Azalea, what are you guys doing?
Left.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Cyra, I'll get back to you in a moment. Okay. So Azalea and Danny, you guys are also pretty well set on making sure there's no traps here, and there don't appear to be. And there's also 2 rooms on the left. So you guys just enter the first one?
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually compared to the cellar, which was like there was blood and gore all over the walls and shit, and this place is surprisingly clean.
Hell yeah.
You note that
Good room.
there's 2 steel rings about 5 feet up on the wall. An old iron chain kind of strung through it. There's a bucket kind of in the corner. And there's a bunch of.
Prison room.
Say that again.
This was the prison room.
Well, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
there's a bunch of bones in the bucket that are all kind of partially gnawed. It looks like a very macabre bouquet. There's little else here, though. There appears to be some sort of like a primitive drainage system, stained in a very dark brown color, that leads like into the wall. Yeah, there's nothing else really in here. It's just that. So
And we'll go to the second room.
So yeah, you take a quick look. You don't see anything. Cyra's moving into the other room. You guys move into the next room on the left here. It's slightly larger than that and contains only 2 things. A battered, open wooden chest and a pile of torn, bloody clothing. It also has a brown stained drainage system, but it seems to lead into that first room rather than like kind of out anywhere. It's a slight slope here, but there's nothing else in here.
Battered
Anything in the-
box? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the chest is open. It's kind of battered and there's nothing in it. And with your guys' perception checks, you don't even poking at it and prodding at it. There's no like hidden anything really. And Danny, you actually like just to check it, you like kick the side just ever so gently, and your foot goes through it. Like it's mostly rotted and it's just not great. And then so the Cyra, you move into that second room on the right, and you see a very rugged-looking trunk, and it's locked. There's like a big iron lock on the front. You see a cot. There's a small stool and an empty desk, like a tiny little desk. There's not much of interest beyond those things, but that seems to be the most interesting and the least offensive room in this area anyway.
Try to. Did you pick that up properly? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. I was trying to go by the green outline, and I don't know if it's doing it. I will search through the desk and then through the chest.
Okay. So the chest, the desk. Excuse me, the desk. It doesn't have any drawers you can pull out or anything, and it's clean. The top of it is clean. But you go to the chest and you poke around the outside of the chest and whatnot, and it seems to be there's no hidden compartments on the outside. You try to open it, and there's a big fat iron lock in the way that is closed.
I'll try to disable it.
Do you have thieves' tools?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make a thievery check for me.
20.
Okay, so Tor, just as you're
We're going to be friends. We'll get there.
Tor, as you're shoving all this shit into your bag, rather more shoveling the tools in your bag, and you're very, very careful with the skin. You enter this second room just in time for Cyra to pop the lock open. Azalea and Danny, you're making your way over here, and you see a simple pair of beige clothes, similar Louis sized, a single throwing knife, and there's as you kind of are digging through this, you're being very careful and also gentle to make sure that no traps kind of trigger in your face. But underneath that pile of clothes, there's a single gem about that big, bright green. Even in your dancing lights, it casts colors. So an emerald of some value. You have no idea how much, but
You guys, I think I found clothes for Lou and a jewel. Do I know what it is? Yeah, it's emerald.
it appears to be an emerald. Yeah.
Okay. And what looks like a
Here's
decent
three.
size. Yeah. I also am suspicious.
Who's got a praise?
Is that even a?
It doesn't exist anymore.
I was like,
Is it
that's not a
under
thing.
Is it? How do you know?
crafting?
That's a great
Yeah,
question.
like,
I would say
geology or something
say
like that?
maybe you could do geology if anybody has that.
Is that a thing?
Let's see. That would be a lore.
My
Nobody has that.
genealogy, which is a lot of the same sounds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's similar.
Underworld, and if we trade in not normal things, would I know?
Apparently, it's a craft.
Yeah.
This is the crafting part of recall knowledge.
Yep.
The value of items.
Oh.
So yeah, you guys can do a recall knowledge craft check if you want to check the value of that.
Anybody? This not really my specialty. Anybody know much about jewels?
Nope, I don't know anything about them.
I would say
A little bit.
I would say Underworld lore might be able to help with this as well.
Yeah, because I've seen things like this before. Let me look at it.
No, toss it over.
What kind of check am I doing here?
Recall knowledge crafting. So yeah, just a craft check.
Just a craft check.
Yep.
Crafting. Oh gosh. 25.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
This is in fact an emerald. Probably worth more than 200 gold pieces, but no more than 400. It just depends. It's actually cut, so it's a cut emerald. It looks like maybe it was popped out of like a necklace or a brooch or something.
So this is real, and it's probably worth a little bit. I think we should put it somewhere in a bag or hide it. I could put it in Squishy, maybe. Is it big enough to fit in Squishy's bottle hole?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Hopefully use some loot first.
Where do you guys want to put it? Let's hide it.
Yeah, that's good. And if anyone asks, it can just look like a fancy part of Squishy.
Okay, I don't think my infused reagents are gonna destroy the emerald.
You'll be fine.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take Squishy and boop, pull his little cork and thump.
Can we should leave the clothes, leave him on the other side on Louis' side of the grate. I can't talk to Louis, but I should be able to talk to the rats in Sylvan to explain it's for him.
There are no rats in the immediate vicinity, but you could probably call out to them.
Yeah, I'm pretty loud. It's fine.
Yeah, so you grab the clothes. The only thing that's left in there is a throwing knife or throwing dagger.
Azalea, you can have a second.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a yes or no.
Okay. I'll take another throwing knife.
Yep.
Neither do we.
So you take the clothes and the bars are wide enough that you can kind of like push the clothes through the bars. And they kind
Is there any dry, whether it's paper or clean cloth or anything that I could wrap them in so they don't get dirty?
No. These clothes are, I say clean, but I mean relatively. They're not fancy.
Okay.
Even if you put them in the dirt or even this moist kind of earth for a little while, it's not gonna like irrevocably damage it. So.
Okay. And then I'll just call out to the rats. We found what looks like a gift for Louis. If you can take this to him. I'll just say it in Sylvan.
Okay.
Hopefully they listen and understand.
Oh, was that his emerald? Should we give him the emerald?
I don't think it's his emerald, because it's not in his part of the cave.
Oh, it was. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. I was like, it was in the chest that those clothes were also in. So.
Oh, I thought they were gifts.
Do you want to? I mean, I could dump Squishy out.
We can. We'll call, and if he doesn't answer, it's sorry. We tried.
Emeralds. Okay.
What's it worth to make an enemy?
I don't want to make him an enemy, though. I mean,
Concur. No, that's what I mean. I don't think it's the emerald is worth making him an enemy. So we ask, and if he doesn't answer, we try.
I'll hold on to it for safekeeping, and if we ever see him again, it'll be inside Squishy.
Okay.
And the rats don't seem to answer.
Okay.
And yeah. But yeah. The this iron gateway clearly has a place for a key. You can choose to unlock it if you want, or just let it be. But
No, I don't want him to feel threatened. I want him to feel safe in this part of his home. So I'm not going to intentionally violate.
okay. Yeah, so you guys have kind of cleared this area. There
Is
does
the chest useful?
it's I
Is the
mean,
chest a mimic?
it's yeah, it doesn't appear to be a mimic. It's just kind of an old wooden construction. I mean, it's fairly cheap. You'll maybe get a few coppers for it.
Okay, never mind. Not worth it.
Yeah, it's too heavy. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do here in the cellar of horrors?
Leave. That's what I want to do.
Okay, so Cyra starts heading out. Tor and Azalea and Danny, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go bury all that stuff.
Okay, Tor, you remember there's being a shovel in that shed, so you kind of head over there as everybody else kind of gathers on the outside. You head over there and grab one of the shovels and start digging. Azalea, what are you doing?
I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Danny, you're muted.
Was this all downstairs or?
All of this stuff was downstairs in the cellar, and everybody's moving out now. Tor is already he's left, and he's going to go bury the skin and whatnot. So yeah, what do Danny? You're kind of the last one down here.
I'm just gonna go out and stand at the top of the stairs. I'm just gonna leave. I'm leaving and standing in the yard awkwardly.
Okay. So yeah, Tor gets to work digging. While he's doing that, you other three, you'd only cleared out the cellar and the shed. Is there anything you guys have in mind, Cyra?
First, I want to go and disable the bear trap. It makes me antsy that there's a open trap in the shed.
Okay. You go over there. While she's heading over there, Azalea, Danny, what do you guys want to do?
Azalea, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I didn't even want to. And then
Can I look in the windows of the house?
Sure.
have we looked into the actual main house yet, or we've only really?
No.
I'll look through the rest of the house.
Okay, so looking into the windows, it looks like a two-room home. One appears to be a bedroom. One appears to be a kitchen, living room, den, living space. The front door is locked. Cyra, I need you to make a thievery check for me, while Tor is still digging.
18.
Yeah, you easily disable the trap. Okay,
Then
so
I'll head back to the house.
okay. So while she's out there doing that, Azalea and Danny, you guys gonna try to get in or what?
Yeah, we'll poke around, or I'll poke around anyway. Might as well. We're here to investigate. Look the part.
Yeah, I'll go stand behind her while she's unlocking the door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a thievery check, Azalea. Danny, you're watching her do this, and you recall that you were given a key.
Oh, hey, Azalea.
I only got 15.
Will this help? And I hold the key out.
So you're like halfway through
Yeah.
fucking with it, and you look over your shoulder and see him with the key, and you just grab it and unlock the door. The door comes unlocked just as Cyra, you're heading back. You see them. Do you guys enter the building?
Yes.
Okay. Tor, you're just about done digging up this hole, and what are you burying? Just the skin or everything?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of the tools and everything.
Okay. Yeah, you toss those in and gently put the skin down, and you start covering it up just as they enter the house. So this door kind of it squeals open, like the hinges are all rusted and gross. The interior is quite dark, but it like I said, it has two rooms. The kitchen is kind of what you're in now. Consists of there's a wood stove, there's a long table, and like a water basin. There's two cabinets, and there's a knife rack by the basin. On the left side of the room, by the doorway to the next room, appears to be like a larder. Dusty and dirty. this place looks lived in, but certainly not cared for. The person who lived here was probably a slob and somebody who never ever cleaned or took care of anything. There's ash all around the wood stove. There's a dining table with 2 chairs covered in something chunky, probably 2 or 3 day old, like stew maybe. It's really hard to tell. There's a few broken bottles and pieces of dinnerware kind of scattered across the floor. Is there anything you guys want to look at or look through or attempt to find?
I'm gonna I want to look for like any kind of hidden compartments. Like look around I don't know what the fireplace is made of. Are there like stones? Are there any loose stones? Is there anything on the mantle?
So it's a wood stove. So it's made out of like iron. It's not very big. It's like a little potbelly stove.
I got you.
But yeah, there's nothing on like the top of it. Save there's actually what appears to be now an empty, just metal like pot. There's nothing like on or around it. The fire's been cold for some time. Roll a perception check to find like hidden compartments and stuff. And Danny, as you're kind of doing this, Azalea, are you looking for anything in particular?
Nothing in particular, I don't think. Maybe just something that stands out as not normal.
Roll a perception check. What'd you get, Danny?
Dirty 20.
Okay. So there don't appear to be any hidden compartments or doorways in here. This looks like a fairly normal living space for 2 people. Save, for how dirty it is and all the broken cookware and whatnot. Go ahead, Azalea.
16.
Yeah, so what you can tell is that looking around, there's a few blood stains on the floor. Like splatter, not necessarily like a ton of blood, but maybe somebody got hit with something. And as you kind of looking at the pieces of bottle and there's a broken bowl near the table, it looks like somebody hit somebody else with a bottle and it broke on like their face or their head or something. And there's like blood on some glass shards and whatnot. Cyra, you enter the house just in time to see Azalea like kind of looking very carefully at all this broken glassware. You can smell that there's something rotting in here. You can't tell if it's whatever the hell was in that bowl that's now all over the chair and tables, or if it's maybe something in the larder. But you guys can look in there if you want.
I'm probably going to regret it, but
So Danny, you're kind of like knocking around the walls just to make sure there's nothing else going on, and some of the walls kind of sound a little hollow, but like there's no like doorways or entrances or anything like that. You do find a small hole, like a little archway shaped hole, near underneath the water basin. It looks like large enough maybe for a rat to get through. But yeah, Cyra and Azalea, you guys open the larder, and it appears to just be some salted meats, and it looks like the vegetables in there are really rotten, and that's kind of you kind of do this, and it's nasty. But at this point, Tor, you're like pretty much finished burying these items, and you try to stamp it down and make it look relatively normal.
No better than prison food.
Tor, so do you want to head over to the house, or are you just gonna stand out here, or are you looking for something else?
I'm gonna go back and put the shovel up, and when I do, I'm gonna grab that bear trap or whatever, spring it for Cyra.
So Cyra had done it. She had already.
She had already.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll put the shovel up, and then I'll head inside.
You had the intention, and you raised it up, and you see that it's already closed, and there's a certain amount of disappointment as you just kind of hang the shovel up, and you head back toward the house. And you get in there as Cyra's like closing the the larder to maybe contain the stench a little bit. And you see Danny kind of on his hands and knees looking underneath the water basin.
I'm going to press the digitate the spell away.
You press the digitate spell away. Tor, go ahead.
I was talking to Danny. Anything interesting down there?
Nope.
Why are you there?
And I'm just gonna keep going. Not really answer.
What still needs to be searched?
Is there the one other room? Okay.
I'll go and search that room then.
I'm
Okay.
gonna follow behind him.
Okay.
I'm tired of this class of quarters.
Okay. So nothing triggers as you enter. There's no door on this room. And you see a large single bed, big enough to fit like 4 or 5 people actually. And you can see what appears to be like an armoire on the left side of the bed, and a large trunk on the right. Otherwise, there's 2 nightstands covered in like melted candle wax. And I say like covered in it. There's probably like 3, 4, maybe 5 years worth of accumulation of wax on these. It's like really nasty.
Oh, they like their candles and wasn't fond of cleaning, huh?
It's just so much wasted wine.
Yeah. So search
Alright,
the room, the chest, and what have you. Armoire,
The armoire.
nightstands.
I'm gonna look under the bed.
Okay. So, Azalea, are you following them as well?
I'll stand in the back.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with top left here, Danny. So Danny, you look underneath the bed and you can see that this is a wooden floor, and you see lots of tiny little scratch marks and claw marks on the floor underneath this bed, and you see another hole about the size of what a rat would be able to fit through. There's nothing immediately offensive under here. There's no traps or items or rats or anything, but yeah, it looks like something had spent a good amount of time under here.
Oh, gross. There's rats under here. I mean, they're not here now, but there's a rat hole. They come in and out.
All things
What if
considered,
they tell you
nothing.
to kill people with like this subliminal messaging or something, where they like talk to you when you're asleep, and it's like the suggestion or whatever it is?
They effectively brainwashed her.
Yeah. Shit.
It's possible, but nothing here.
I mean, I think it's fairly likely. She was likely mentally unstable already, and then heard voices in the night, in the dark, while she slept, while she was awake, anytime she was home.
Do I have knowledge of what Louis was?
The rat folk.
You could do.
Can I roll knowledge genealogy, please?
You could attempt to, sure.
Please, I just want to use it once.
You could try
Oh, God.
dungeoneering, maybe.
Well, I rolled an 11.
Natural 1, whatever it is. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. I mean, it seems likely enough to be a rat folk, you suppose. And yeah, Danny, you don't have any fucking idea at all. Some rat-looking dude? Weird. It's weird shit.
Rat bastard. Rat bastard.
Yep.
Tor, you go over to the armoire. It is actually locked. There's like a small lock appears to be on the inside of the 2 doors.
I just forced it open.
Make a strength check.
Do you want some help, buddy?
20. 30, 20.
Yeah, so you try to open it and you shake it a little bit and it kind of rocks back and forth. And then you shake it a little bit more and then you kind of put your hand on one door and you kind of pull on it with the other hand and you get frustrated and you just like punch a hole through it. And you fiddle around and you punch another hole through the door and you rip out the lock mechanism and you just throw the doors open.
It's wildly unnecessary.
And it stinks. It smells like mold and there's like a dust comes out and it's gross.
Make it smell better, Sarah.
Yeah, I'll prestidigitate this smell too.
So,
Smells like roses.
as the rest of you kind of you're more focused on getting that smell out of your noses. Azalea, just from your angle, you can see that there's a bunch of moldy looking clothes hanging in it, and just based on the angle that you can see, it looks like this armoire is deeper than what it looks like for those of you that are standing right in front of it.
Oh my god, we found Narnia.
What's Narnia?
Yeah, I'll go over and like push my way through and like see how far back I can go.
Okay. I need you to make a reflex save.
First good roll. Reflex?
Yep.
Oh, 29.
Okay, make a will save.
Bitch.
Believe in you.
Wow.
Will save?
Yep.
Hold on. Math. 24.
Okay.
Wow.
So as you push through your companions and like you throw the clothes out to the side, it's very difficult to not scream, but you manage to not scream as a full skeleton falls forward, and you catch it, and you're shaking a little bit, and you just like gently push it back in, and you just like close.
I think back where I came from. We're so happy.
And you just kind of like
No respect for the dead.
you just kind of like wipe off your.
Skeletons in her closet. Yikes.
That was horrible.
You're like, you have to die legally now.
But yes, there is in fact a literal skeleton in the closet. Yes.
Tor, are you gonna take care of this one too?
I will, yes.
Okay.
And so, Tor, you kind of reach in, and it seems to be like an adult human, as far as you can tell. And like it's interesting because skeletons don't stick together on their own. And as you kind of like pull it out, you realize that whoever had done this had actually like put wires through or string through the bones and drilled holes in it and like actually put the whole skeleton together. And it appears to be, as far as you've cutting people open and whatnot, you've seen is anatomically correct.
Oh, we could sell it to a medical school for like a like a bone thing, so they can at least let them learn.
I'm going to bury it, and you can take care of those arrangements if you'd like.
You're gonna bury it and then donate it to science? That's not how it works. I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm not going to donate it to science. I'm saying you can.
We
But
use
I'm not
it,
lugging. I'm not lugging this thing along. I'm going to go give it a burial.
You don't want to carry a bag of bones.
So
It's not a bag. It's well held together.
yeah, so Tor, you kind of
Hold them up.
grip its rib cage and you hoist it up and you kind of walk outside with it and go find your trusty shovel. And you begin digging again. And you're not really sure what to do with it, so you kind of like just sit it up against the the shed. So you're just digging, and there's like a skeleton watching you dig. Just kind of sitting there having a lazy day. So yeah.
Your daddy put a cigarette in its mouth.
It needs an iced tea.
I specifically chose not to desecrate the skeleton. Like I thought about it, but I was like, maybe not. Tor's kind of big.
Yes, feelings about
seems to care about these things. So,
But we both thought it, so that's what matters.
yeah,
The donation idea is a great one.
I was gonna pick the legs up and make it walk while Tor carried it, but that's not a good idea.
So there's other than that, there's nothing of value inside the armoire. And there's the trunk on the other side of the bed.
I'm gonna jump on the bed and kind of relax and hope somebody else opens the trunk.
Okay. Yeah, Danny hops onto the bed as Tor leaves.
I'm afraid of this house. I'm just gonna look at Azalea, hoping that she'll do it.
Alright, I'll open the chest. Hold on, let me get to the Ooh.
It's just full of. Oh yeah, there we go.
How much?
16?
Yeah, you fiddle with it and it doesn't appear to open.
You gotta do it.
I'll try. I'm deeply traumatized by this house. I rolled a nat 1.
So as you fiddle with this, your fear is so bad that you're like jittering with it, and like you try to steady yourself and you just can't. And as you think you have it, you twist your tools and you actually break them. You have broken your thieves' tools. Thieves' tools.
Fine, I'll have to fucking mend them later.
So yeah, the
I don't think I have this. I can try to help you. Between the two of us, we can try again.
Are we allowed to try again, or is it?
you can keep trying until you break your tools, but Cyra broke her tools, so.
All right, I'll try one more time. Well, it was worse.
Yeah. So. Oh. He's now the one. I'm gonna just boop. Okay. Anyway, so as you go to open this, you're struggling today. You know, you thought you weren't really afraid. Turns out you're a little afraid of the
One more time.
Okay.
Add 2.
19?
Nope. So with the +2, even that 21, you aren't able to open it.
Not with a 21?
Mm-mm.
Let's go. We'll get 4 to help us. Maybe he'll just smash this one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a stressful visit.
So,
Do you let me know before I come back in?
When you come back in, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Then I won't bring the shovel.
So, Danny, you watch as these two struggle and fail to open this trunk. As you're kind of on the bed trying to chillax. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna tell him, hey guys, I kicked the side of a chest earlier and it caved in. Maybe just kick it. I'm making unhelpful
Take care of that.
suggestions.
I'm gonna try to kick it,
Make a strength check.
but only because I'm like mad at it now. Well, 15.
As a matter of fact, you do put your foot through it.
Yeah, see, told you.
And this one is made out of like leather, and it just kind of like tears. Yeah. So you've opened the bottom of the trunk, and so you can kind of like pull stuff out through the bottom, or you can attempt to like fiddle with it on the inside, but you can widen the hole, so to speak.
Yeah, and then I'll just.
I mean, if it's leather, we can just slice it open, can't we?
Yeah. So you found the part of it that isn't made of wood, and yeah, you slice it open the rest of the way. And you guys find that there's 3 throwing daggers inside, a set of thieves' tools, a coin purse, and a silver ring. And the silver ring has a small inset sapphire.
Is it
Is it
cursed?
enchanted?
Your detect magic does not find any magic. It seems to be a very
Ring.
mundane ring.
How much is in the coin purse?
12 gold coins and 6 silver coins.
Oh, I see how it is. Barbarians can't destroy stuff, but you guys can. Jeez.
I broke my thieves' tools. That was very sad.
Well, sounds like payback then.
Yeah, so Tor, you are getting used to burying bodies and things at this point. You've buried this quickly, and you've made your way back inside already. And but yes, all of the things seem to have been cleared out of this house at this point.
Azalea, you want some more daggers?
3 throwing daggers.
These are more throwing knives, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, might as well.
All right. Danny, wanna see if we can figure out how much the ring's worth?
Yep, let me see it.
I'll
I'll
toss it.
toss it to him.
Oh, you have it too. I'm sorry. Okay.
Make your crafting check.
19.
Crafting.
Maybe like 150 gold pieces.
Yeah, this is like 50 gold.
Yeah. Make a deception check. What's your? Oh, it's the DC for it. I guess it'd be your will DC, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
So it'd be 16 then?
Yeah.
Is that what we do?
Yeah.
Or do I roll?
No. So it's 6 plus 10 for the DC.
Yes, so it'd be 16.
14.
Yeah. No, he's lying clearly.
What? Why would you lie about this?
Oh! You know what? Actually, you're right. It is a sapphire. I was confused with the turquoise thing. This is. Yep, it's like 150. Just missed it by one digit.
I don't believe you.
Here, take it. Let's give it back to her.
Oh, it's the perception DC.
Oh. It's the perception DC. Thank you. What would your?
Oh, they're actually the same number.
Oh well. Either way, there you go. You still failed, but thank you.
Yeah.
They happen to all be 6 right now. Like literally all my saves and my perception.
Wow, nice.
I don't know how. Well, I mean math, but.
Okay. So.
Azalea, you want to carry the ring? You have all the daggers to throw at people if they try to steal it from you.
Oh, what? Sorry.
You want to carry the ring? You have a bunch of daggers to throw at people that try to steal it from you.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, it's already.
One ring
Oh, okay.
to rule them all.
Sorry, I think. All right, let's leave the House of Horrors.
Okay. You guys all step back outside to get away
Still
from.
not opposed to you burning it down, Danny.
Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's like cleansing fire and stuff. But I don't know. This could. I don't want to get in trouble.
I feel like that would attract unwanted, unfriendly attention.
I would love to burn it though. I mean, I could be convinced.
I'm so sympathetic, but not supportive.
So what? It's now at this point. The clouds are starting to recede, and you can start to see the night sky up above you. What do you guys want to do?
All right, before we go back, I think we should all get our story straight and exactly what we're going to share. Because I don't really want to run Lily. No.
Well, I'm not going to share anything with you. So whatever you want to say is fine.
Azalea, Danny.
I mean, she killed a bunch of people, and she's gone, and there's nothing left in the house. So I think we're good.
Okay.
Azalea, any thoughts?
House was ransacked before we got there.
You know, that's a really important detail to remember.
Yeah, we could just kind of slice through and steal stuff.
Oh, but that's actually, we can say, hey, we did find this secret door into the tunnels. But there's no sign of anyone or anything. We recommend we close off the entrance so that no one comes. But in the interim, someone came through and stole everything valuable.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really complicated. You guys will have to do it, because I don't know.
It's
No,
We
it was
just-
an abandoned house. Stole something. It's not that deep.
someone came up from the Underdark or from the tunnels. Someone came up from the tunnels. They ransacked the house. They did it with the secret door. We recommend sealing the secret door shut so this doesn't happen again. Done. Super simple. That's it. That's all you gotta remember.
How are we gonna what happens when the real people investigate? Aren't we gonna look sus as hell?
No, I don't know.
We are the
Oh,
real
no,
people. We're the investigators. We work for
No,
True.
we're not.
So my hope was to sort this shit out and hightail it out of town before they get back, or maybe we meet them here and we're like, oh, thank God there's backup. However, it's not needed. We don't really need supervision. We are the B team, but we can be the A team now. I don't really have a great plan.
That's okay.
I
That's
need
okay.
lots
What?
of adult supervision.
Yeah.
We did great, and we don't need backup. Okay, that's our story. We're sticking to it. Look at us.
All right,
We're
sounds
so
good.
good. We were the preliminary investigators, but we have solved the mystery. And that's why we got here so fast.
That's it.
So as you guys leave, you head back toward the Dog Rose Inn. And as
Hey,
you
whenever we get back to town, guys, I know it's just right over there, but I want to see if there's maybe another inn. I don't like staying in an inn that's owned or operated by a vampire. Kind of goes against me. If I can't find a place, I may end up just camping out here.
You're gonna stay in the House of Horrors?
No,
That's better.
I'll stay outside. I'll camp
Oh, okay.
in the woods here.
Okay, I will do my best to cover for you.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I want to look. I want to look for another inn, and then also if I happen to see maybe a like a store to buy some stuff from too.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Tor, how much do you know about like vampire culture? This is I have a
A bit,
specific.
actually.
So I imagine that vampires see humans much the same way that dragons see everything that's not a dragon. Whereas so long as the proper deference is shown, they don't give a fuck what you actually think of them. Is that true here?
They see more as kind of cattle for them to feed on, but that's a close enough assessment.
But so long as proper deference is shown, they don't care about our feelings.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yep, perfectly satisfactory.
Okay.
I can't deal with undead. And one day, when I've figured out my plan, I'm going to bring this place down.
I'm not looking anywhere near that far ahead. But I love your ambition.
If we can burn it, I'm down. Let's do it.
All right, Danny. Fire will definitely be on the menu.
Freaking vampires. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
I'm glad to see you're on board, Danny.
You want to go camping? Let's go on an adventure.
Yes.
Sweet.
If I can't find a vampire-free inn, then definitely.
All right, I'll protect you wherever you wind up sleeping because yeah.
So the two men split off, I guess. What are the two women doing?
I'm gonna go back to where we paid to sleep.
Yes, same. I would like
Because
to.
I'm not
take a
wasting
bath.
my money. I'm not wasting their money.
Okay. So
Our money, though.
the two men know that you guys you actually have keys to rooms there at the Dog Rose Inn, but I'll get to you guys in a minute. So the other two, Azalea and Cyra, you guys approach the Dog Rose Inn, and it's easy to see even from out here that it's busy. From the firelight inside, you can see there's a large group dispersed maybe amongst like 5 or 6 tables. You hear some music and some drunken singing. It's early in the evening, but it sounds like folks may have started early. You hear the high notes of some sort of fiddle pierce the chill night air as the front door of the inn opens. The smell of roasted boar and some delicious sweets and ale kind of drift out to you. And yeah, as you guys step in, there's at least 24 individuals here. Most of them wearing like the typical peasant garb, like tunic, pants, vest, or a dress. All of these varying bright colors, many of them embroidered with colorful flowers or these vibrant animals. A fairly even mix of humans, elves, and half-elves. They all stop short for a moment as the two of you enter. Very strange, not used to kobolds around here, or anybody with bright green hair. Everybody kind of stops. And as you kind of stand there for half a second, one of the guys in the back, he raises his pint and says, "Hey!" And the rest of the crowd, "Hey!" And then the music picks up again. They mostly ignore you.
I would do that.
You can see Gabriella and Tiffany both behind the bar, enjoying a drink. And then sitting on top of the far end of the bar, however, there's a woman that you have not seen before. Fairly different than the rest. She's olive-skinned. She's got her brown hair cut into a bob, and she's wearing this big lavender-colored tricorn.
I'm so sorry. A what?
A tricorn, like a pirate hat, that
Got
three-pointed.
3 points on it.
Right?
It's
I
got
love her already.
it's got a big blue feather coming out of it. She's wearing
Named it macaroni.
There you go. Yeah, they named it macaroni. She's wearing a purple leather armor over this like flowing silk shirt. It's like silver. She's wearing like gray breeches, knee-high purple boots, and is wielding
That'd be an extra.
she's wielding a silver and violet vielle. It's kind of like a fiddle. She's got a sickle resting on her hip, and she's got a silver token on her left shoulder.
What is the? Do we recognize the token?
You'll have to get closer. You guys have just entered. She's on the other side of the fire pit, and she's on the far end of the bar on top of that. So she's fairly far
I'm
away.
enchanted, and I'm going straight toward her.
I'll have to babysit.
Okay. Yeah. So she's currently playing a fairly jaunty tune that you guys don't recognize. But it's fairly fast paced, and all the patrons are like either banging on the table or stamping their feet. It's a pretty lively scene as she's playing. And as you get closer, you realize that she has a token. It's the same token that Tiffany is wearing, and Gabriella. It's a griffin and a dragon facing each other. But yeah, she's currently playing. She's sitting and playing at the moment, and singing as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until a break in the song, but I'm going to enjoy like the spectacle while I wait.
Okay. Yeah, about a minute, 2 minutes goes by, and she finishes her set, and everybody's cheering and clapping, and Gabrielle and Tiffany are going around refilling drinks. But yeah, and she kind of stays on the bar, but she has a strap on her fiddle. She like straps it across her back, and she puts her bow back there as well. She's just like watching the crowd. She's not saying anything.
I'm gonna approach her, and I'm gonna like put my hand on whatever socially acceptable part of her. Like I'm envisioning her knee, perhaps.
Yeah, so you'd have to like reach up, and you end up like
Yes.
tapping her
Fully
shin.
expect.
And then she like looks down at you. Oh, well, hello there.
You look like you have so many stories.
She,
Where have you been?
she like looks around. I have a few stories. Well, let's see. Where have I been? Oh goodness, that is many places. I have been all over this continent. I have been from Sharith Abtisa to the Linyenwa Alliance to the Undine Republic in the south to Draconia in the far west. I myself hail from Hillgarten to the north. How about yourself? You look like a well-traveled individual.
I've come all this way from Draconia.
Ah, most excellent.
What brings you here? You have the badge.
Yes.
Do you live here?
For the moment, I have a room here. I am working for Lady Gabriella. Of course, it's one of those things where when I pass through a place and I'm offered enough money to stay for a while and pick up all the news and the gossip, I get paid to do it and move along.
Oh my god, you're traveling. It's true.
And
I'm so jealous.
she does like a sitting bow, and she kind of throws her hands out a little bit.
What news do you have?
What news do I have indeed? Well, really, is there anywhere specific you're looking for news from, or just in general?
Draconia, although anything exciting or
Oh,
outlandish.
outlandish. Well, this is certainly a bit of a hot topic around here, but so Sharith Abtisa is to the northwest. It is a religious country, right? It is run by the Abbess Augusta, the Pious. She is the highest cleric in the land of Svas. And like the whole room kind of goes quiet as she mentions it, and then everything picks up again. She says, "Well, they are exerting both diplomatic, divine, and military pressure to have their neighboring countries give up so-called sources of evil, lycanthropes, witches, other such quote-unquote vile filth. The Inquisition is spreading quite far now, and well, we're not really sure what's going on, but I am well aware that people down here are staunchly opposed to the evil abbess in the whole room. Ah! Just drunkenly shouting. Oh, let's see. Many other things. So the king of Umbaria, to the north, Umberto Feltharia.
I'm so sorry.
Go
Can I
ahead.
pause you for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Okay, money's up on the couch. Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. So the King Umberto Feltharia, he is from Umbaria to the north. He is seeking allies to fight the Linyenwa Alliance in Sudalor. the whole war of the Central Powers is still going on, of course, and it seems that this multi-year war has started to take a toll on all involved, and he is searching for others to join their cause in slaying all of the monsters to the south. Allegedly, Sherry Theptisa, in their quest to destroy all evil and all monsters, may be joining them, but we are unsure. Let's see. Of course, Darlor to the north, not officially taking sides, but rumor has it that the prince there is taking representatives from both sides, though hearsay has it that mostly that's due to trying to keep the Ashlands here at bay against any possible vampiric incursions. Now, Dverkinger, of course, that island nation of dwarves to the northeast, has increased its rating. There are many people and items, gold, iron, really anything of value being raided and taken from neighboring countries. Karthos specifically, really the guild leaders there are sick of losing their coin and product, and so they're attempting to perhaps garner allies for a war of their own. Now, there are whispers of tombs in the country of Abrudi to the east, in the city of Actipoli. The Duchess there found tombs some years back and used them to, declare her divine right to rule the city, but perhaps those tombs are a little bit more, and rumor has it that it's a necropolis there, and I'm working my way that direction now. Once I'm finished with my employ here in the next couple of weeks. As for Draconia, of course, Draconia and Robert are at each other's necks as usual. There is possible, as we know, the Council of Worms is still undergoing some changes since the whole comet thing 30 years back. That may develop into a civil war, but I am unsure of what will occur there myself. It's been some time since I've been there, perhaps 6 months, maybe a year. I don't quite remember. Time is so strange in this dark place, but those really are the big juicy rumors that I have for now. Of course, beyond the murderer that lives at the edge of town. She's, of course, allegedly been disposed of. I'm unsure of that, but that is a story that I will be willing to tell.
I can't wait to hear this story.
Oh, well, you see, this strange lady lived at the edge of the woods, happily married for many years, and as everybody knows, the Wolf's Wood is a very dangerous place, and you hear in the crowd a couple of people, murmuring their agreement, and she's not really telling you, but she's telling everybody else, and she says, now, this woman, Mihaela, she was a very nice woman according to everybody else. And you hear some shouts of agreement, and then some, shh, shh, telling people to shut up. She was happily married, and as the years went on, she had no children, but they worked their farm loyally to everybody else here, and they were helpful if, maybe a little bit isolated from everybody else, of their own doing, I think. And people disappeared, and mostly it was blamed on the woods. Until, just not a few days prior, when somebody had gone over to her place, mostly to ask just for a cup of salt. And she found that they weren't in her house, and they saw that the cellar was open, unlocked. And they heard noises coming from down in the cellar. And, there she was, on the floor, on her knees, sawing somebody's leg off. It was, quite terrifying, really, and there's a bunch of sick noises in the crowd as everybody's like, gross, evil, damn her! And it's kind of the crowd is starting to get riled up. And she says, thankfully, the guards, the Ianku guards, were able to capture her before she fled any further, and it was then discovered that her husband was amongst the missing, presumed dead. Some body parts of her neighbors were found. I won't get into more gory detail, and some of the crowd's like, oh, and some of them were like, oh, kind of wipe their brows, there's some people that are, white in the crowd, they don't deal with dead people very often, is what it seems like.
Or the undead.
Or they deal with a lot of undead, but not dead. And they say, well, now hopefully that the Queen's justice will be dispensed upon this woman once all of the evidence is heard in the Blood Court in the near future. And of course, we all look forward to hearing the news of that. And everybody's kind of, yeah. And even perhaps if she does come to justice, perhaps that justice will be dispensed here in Lupadure rather than in the capital. And everybody else, like clearly hungry for blood, even though like they have.
She was one of them.
Huh?
Even though she was one of them.
If you think now that you're looking around, maybe specifically because she was one of them, there's definitely a sense of betrayal in the atmosphere. And as she kind of gauges the rest of the group here, and she kind of can tell there's a little bit of simmering anger, and she like stands up on the bar and she says, "How about another song and a round for everybody?" And she takes a gold coin and she passes it down to Gabriella, and she nods and smiles, and the whole tavern, so everybody starts getting drinks as she starts playing again.
Yes.
So as she starts playing again, we'll push over to the two men here. You guys head over just through the town. Are you like wandering in a specific direction to look for another place, or what are you guys trying to do here?
Yeah, I'm just walking around looking. I don't have a specific. I mean, it's a pretty small town, so I don't think
Right.
anything too crazy involved.
Okay.
Just looking for signs or whatever that might indicate an inn.
And Danny, are you just following?
You're muted.
Gosh dang it! Sorry. Yeah, following and yeah, I'm following.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of walking through the dark town, it's not quiet. It sounds like most people are home now, or at the Dog Rose Inn. And they're partying hard, is what it seems like. But thankfully for you, as you can kind of see the waxing moon rising, you fairly quickly come across what appears to be another inn. A sign out front reads "The Wolf's Lair," and it's like you see the like kind of a cave pointed there, and like a wolf standing in front of it. And you see there's quite a few people inside, and your hope for finding a vampire-free tavern is quickly dashed as you realize that maybe half of this town's guardsmen are in there. So like 10 of them, but they're all wearing the. I gotta make sure I have the colors right for you. They're wearing the pine green. You see on their armor emblazoned a brown griffin on the left and a silver dragon on the right, and kind of on a black circle. But it's the same badge that Gabriella was displaying. Most of them are just wearing their armor, but you see two of them have the same gold tokens that Gabriella had. And you can, even through the window, you don't even go inside, and you can very clearly see that two of them, those two with the gold tokens, are drinking out of like a clear crystal goblet that has a very dark red liquid in it. And you're standing at the window, but with the perception that I rolled for you, which was very high, you can see the very obvious fangs on these guys.
Great vision.
And you also see what appears to be like the bartender. He also appears to have a golden token. And
Are these tokens golden because they're vampires, or are they golden just because that's the house?
so you have seen nobody before this place specifically. You weren't paying that much attention previously. But I will go ahead and do. Oh yeah, with your lore check that I just did for you. Yes, it appears that people with golden tokens appear to be full-blooded vampires. Whether they're turned vampires or born vampires, you don't know. But it seems this inn has more vampires in it than the previous one. So you can go in if you want. Danny,
Good.
you just see a bunch of people having a good time. You can't really tell what's. You're a little short. You're kind of like trying to peer over the windowsill.
Not here, Danny. There's even more vampires in there.
Uh,
I think
They're just-
I think those gold tokens. I think that means they're vampires.
that makes sense. I think they're just fattening people up to eat them. I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is ridiculous.
Okay, where are
Is
you
there
guys
like Is there like a bridge we could sleep under?
Do you see any bridges?
No, this is a
Any
fairly.
other inns?
There's as you kind of wander around and it's starting to get really late. No, those are the only two inns in town. This is a small town, and there's not even really any bridges around here to kind of sleep under. You figure you probably have to find like a stable or something, or sleep in the trees for some like cover or in the underbrush on the outskirts of the town. Yeah, that's really all about you can find.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm just gonna camp out.
What side of town are you gonna camp out on?
I'll go back to I'll go back to the north side around that farm that we were at, since that's what I told the girls.
Okay. Danny, I presume you're following, or?
Yeah, but I'm also gonna take my key out and be like, yeah, but Tor, the room's like warm and has a bed, and I don't think they're gonna eat us. I mean, we're taking advantage of them. That's the way you could look at it. Like we actually got a pretty good deal on the room. We're using the vampires.
Oh, at the inn?
Yeah.
You're talking about at the inn?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, feel free to sleep there if you want. I can't in good conscience support them. If I'd have known before I'd paid, I wouldn't have paid.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go talk to Cyra and Azalea and see what they think. I think I'll be back. I'll probably be back, most likely, almost
Can
definitely.
we wait here for you?
No, go get a camp. I'll find you.
All right. Yeah, I'll be up in the north side, so you guys come get me when you're ready in the morning. If you don't return.
Yeah, I mean I'll be back, so it's fine. I'll see you in a little while.
All right.
Okay, so Tor, make a survival check for
I
me.
really hope he doesn't come back.
Almost certain he's not going to.
10.
Okay, so you find a relatively flat spot near some trees, just at the edge of the forest, seemingly kind of out of sight, away from anybody. Nobody's really looking at you. There's no houses that are close enough that would be like, hey, who's that weird guy on my land? So you kind of nestle yourself up against the tree, and just kind of like stare up through because now it's autumn, it's mid-autumn, and a lot of though most of these trees are kind of like conifers, there are some that are like, I think you think you're at a maple tree maybe, but you can kind of see through it up to the stars, and the growing moon. But yeah, there's nothing that you really can do to really protect yourself from the elements for tonight. It's going to be cold, and you kind of just wrap yourself up and kind of just hang out at this.
I've got my bedroll.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything else you want to do other than just try to go to sleep? Okay. Danny, you start making your way back toward the Dog Rose Inn, and it doesn't take more than 15 minutes or so. And as you head back, you in the distance, kind of in the woods, probably off to your south, you hear what sounds like the very, very faint howling of wolves. Very faint. And you can't really tell how close they are, and you get a little bit worried for Tor, but just based on the direction they are, he'll probably be fine. And you make it back to the Dog Rose Inn just as it seems the strange bard on top of the bar top is finishing a song. And you see Azalea kind of sitting on her own, and you see Cyra like sitting cross-legged right underneath this woman, like staring up at her.
I'm gonna walk over to Azalea because she's kind of out of the crowd.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over there and be like, hey, can we just go to bed? Can I just go to bed? I don't want to be here. Like, I'm sleepy. Tor's sleeping outside, by the way.
You have a room key.
I do. I'm just saying. Is there anything going on? Should I like stay up for this? I don't.
You want to watch a performer?
Nope. Okay. Good night. And I'm just gonna like move on and go find my room.
So as you pass by, Cyra, you don't even notice Danny come in. But as you pass towards your room, you actually see Lorenzo sitting at a table full of, looks like lumberjacks or maybe farmers or something. But he seems to be chatting with them. Are you just gonna keep going to your room, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going to my room. I'm not gonna interact with that.
Cool. Yeah, you head back to your room and you promptly lock the door, pass the fuck out, unless you want to do something while you're in your room.
No, I'm definitely gonna go pass the fuck out.
Yeah,
Like,
put the chair up underneath just to make sure nobody can get in and like.
no, I just lock it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm good.
Azalea, what are you doing at this point?
I thought I was babysitting Cyra, so
I mean,
just making sure we're not getting too friendly with strangers in a tavern. Somebody can kill us.
Steal our livers.
Yeah.
I probably have a liver.
so
Do kobolds have livers?
the bard at this point, she does a flourishing bow and she says, "Well, thank you all very much. I'll be here again tomorrow night. But it is time for me to retire." And the whole crowd, "Oh, come on, one more!" They're all drunk. And she takes off her hat and she kind of holds it out to the crowd. She's like, "I might be convinced to do another song." And you see people like tossing coppers into the hat.
I'm gonna put a gold coin in there.
And you like reach up, you can't quite get it, and she like bends down a little bit so you can put it in there. And she smiles at you and nods and says, "Well, my friends, I seem to have been convinced to do another song." And she starts just playing again, very very slow song, and you can like those people that are definitely drunk, like they wrap their arms around each other's shoulders and start like.
Oh, it's like Piano Man?
Yeah, very very similar, and they're all like having a great time. Some of them are like. Stop moving because like they're drunk and they're like like trying to breathe and not throw up. But yeah, so she plays. Go ahead.
He's close to like the bar top, right?
She's
like on top.
The bard is on top of the bar.
Okay, I see money. I want in on this. I'm gonna dance.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a.
I'm gonna steal, and I was like, "Oh, please don't. This is not the place for that."
make a performance check.
Yikes. 14.
So, as you kind of.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
You're not entirely sure of your confidence as you kind of get over here, and you rather than get up on the bar top with her. It's a really slow song, so you kind of like you start kind of swaying and doing a little bit of more of like fancy footwork than anything else. It seems to get the crowd's attention. Those of them that are close enough to see you. It seems that they've already given their coin up to the to the bard for tonight. But she looks appreciatively down at you. As she
Tomorrow night on my bank.
as she finishes the song up. She says, "Yes, well, you would be certainly welcome to join me tomorrow evening if you are still in town. I would love to have some backup." And then she sees the drum that you have, Cyra, and she nods to you, kind of applying that statement.
Very excited.
And she says, "Well,
Switch out to a traveling band.
for now," and she jingles the coins and puts them all in a coin purse. "I'm going to retire, everybody. Good night. Please, have another drink." And she smiles and steps down. And she starts heading away toward, presumably, her room. Okay.
I'm gonna grab the edge of her coat and Actually, I want to tell her about the skeleton, but I want to do it in such a way that only she hears so that she can make it fun for the story later. So, like,
Okay.
if the crowd picks up
Uh-huh.
and she can, like, walk by and I can tell her unobserved, I'll do it in the bar, but otherwise I'll just, like, wait till she's kind of out of sight. So that's my intention, is to tell her discreetly, because I think it'll be a really fun detail for her story.
Make a stealth check for me.
23.
Yeah, so you yeah, even though you're kind of the odd one out in this crowd, you're able to kind of sneakily follow her until she kind of enters that hallway where the first set of rooms are, and yeah, you kind of reach up and kind of tug on her shirt, and she turns around and like looks down at you, and she's yes.
I have a great detail to add to your story. We just investigated today. There was a full skeleton wired together in her armoire.
Really?
Yes. It'll be in our official report, but it'll be a great detail for your story.
Well, certainly. Yes, well, I will be able to use that tomorrow night for certain.
Yes.
That's a very
all I have.
strange thing. Yes, thank you very
Yes.
much. I much appreciate it.
I'm gonna wave and then run away.
And she like just kind of watches you go, and then yeah, she disappears into her room.
I go find Azalea.
Yeah, no. What are you two doing?
Oh, I was just gonna go to bed at this point, but
If you're walking to bed, I'll just join you going up the stairs.
yeah, I was just gonna say like bye to Lorenzo, so at least he knows that like we're back for tonight.
Yeah.
And that we're gonna be up tomorrow.
So Azalea, as you start heading towards the hall, before you get to Lorenzo, because you see him, and Cyra, you're still talking with the bard, who you didn't get her name, but Gabriella puts a hand on your shoulder, Azalea, and she kind of very gently kind of pulls you toward her to like spin you toward her.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Well, how did it go?"
There were 4 bodies. There was, I guess I need to save most of this for the report, but there was definitely a trap door. It was weird. She definitely killed them. It was weird.
Well,
Not normal murder.
as you are making your report to me,
Oh, I thought it was gonna go like write it up and all official. Like.
oh yes,
Okay.
yes, you're doing that as well, mostly for the House Trifu records. But as I am the one who commissioned the job,
Sure.
tell me,
Well, I just wasn't sure if you wanted the written report first.
I would like
rather than
everything,
verbal confirmation. Okay.
please.
Yes. Well, we found a trapdoor with tunnels. That's where.
See this happening?
You're still telling your
Okay.
little bit of story, so not quite yet.
There's definitely some like even under the bed there was like scritches. Whatever she was screaming out rats was at least somewhat true. Still crazy. Still definitely had a full psychotic break and killed her family. Very guilty of what she did, but maybe like collapse that.
Roll a deception check.
I don't think I lied.
You are leaving out valuable information.
Louis.
Yeah. Math is hard.
I just need to find the right screen, which shouldn't have been hard, but here we are. Deception 24. I thought I was trained in it.
She nods, kind of considers. She says, "Yes, I suppose that's not a terrible idea. Was there anything of import in those tunnels?"
It spelled bad, like there were dead people in there at one point.
She's got a crystal goblet that she's drinking out of, and it's very clearly blood. She drinks it. She says, "Oh, very well. I appreciate that. I will also appreciate it. That when you get back to your house, that you write up this written report, and that I eventually get a copy of it.
Yes,
But for now,
I'll do that tomorrow morning.
I will send payment through House Trifu. Do not worry yourselves about that." And Cyra, you overhear that last bit about payment as you spot Azalea and you come back. Thank you for the quick work. I greatly appreciate that, and I'm sure the people of this poor town will be at ease.
Did you tell her the most horrifying part?
And she looks down at you, and
I will
I
be
just
writing
told
up the official report tonight. I will get it to you in the morning.
I just told the bard so she can add it to her story, but there was a literal skeleton that she had wired together in the armoire. This woman was batshit crazy.
Yes.
what? She just kind of looks around. She's not really sure how to process that.
The worst, maybe not the worst part, but the weirdest, most horrifying part. It was a very stressful day. I'm very small and I was prepared for the House of Horrors.
What
Yeah,
happened
that's
to
what
it?
I meant by more bodies than what we thought.
What happened to the skeleton?
Tor buried it. He's very respectful of the dead.
Very well.
It is safe and intact and has been respectfully put to rest.
Very well. Thank you then for your efforts. As I said, the payment will be sent to House Trifu probably tomorrow. I myself, I'm just glad that you were all able to get here so quickly and take care of this. Thank you.
Yes,
It will
House
certainly
Trifu does what
grow.
it's supposed to do. I will get you the physical copy tomorrow. Have a great night.
She nods and nods to you, Cyra, and takes a big gulp of blood, and then just kind of walks off to work with other patrons.
Right,
It's
time to go write this up.
Yeah, do you have any paper? I don't think I have paper.
are you asking her this?
Yeah.
No, why
do you
would
have
I
paper?
have paper?
I also
Lorenzo
don't have paper.
Lorenzo's sitting at the table next to you, and he says, I have tape. I have paper.
Excellent. Excellent.
Being the wizarding type that I am, he takes out two pieces of paper and a quill and ink set. And he says, "Just get this back to me, please. Obviously not the paper because you're using that, but I overheard. Sounds like a terrible place. Now I understand that. Are you still coming with us in the morning? Yes.
We should be good to go.
Okay, so I have heard some conflicting rumors, and there are he's sitting at the table with 5 or 6 people. Well, one of them, and he points to a guy wearing a kind of a blue shirt, and he's slumped over on the table, passed out drunk. He goes, "This gentleman, a little while back, was telling me that he had seen an ancient ruin to the northeast of town, maybe about 2 hours into the woods. He said that there was a stone entrance in the hillside, in a dell, surrounded by maple trees, but he was scared away by some screaming that was echoing from within. He didn't mark it anywhere, and he doesn't really know the way back, but he at least told us that it's northeast-ish. It's very vague. And then this fair lady," and he points to this woman next to him who's it looks like she's on her 5th drink, tankard of ale, and she's in the process of downing this one. And she says that there is a 3-story stone structure atop a heavily wooded hill to the southeast, maybe about an hour walk. I mean, they're both to the east in the woods. That makes sense, but one to the northeast down into the underground, and one on the top of a hill that's a large construction. I mean, the woods are so heavily wooded, we haven't been able to see any of these things, obviously, from the road, but she says...
The woods have woods.
The woods have woods. It's true. But she said that seeing it just made her flee, and she was like, It was terrifying, and you'll find out that it was scary, and it was. You're not gonna have the guts to go there, but I could go back. And she's just like, is super drunk, and Lorenzo just kind of like passed her on the back, and he's just like, it's okay, thank you for the help, and he stands away from the table and says, I'm going to turn in, but at Cloud Rise I'll be awake, and hopefully we can move then soon. We can discuss which course of action we'll take and which one's more likely, but we'll go from there.
Start south, go north. It's quicker.
It could be, yes, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, very, very well. Well, either way, we'll discuss it in the morning. Thank you. And he like pushes away from the table, and he starts walking towards his room. And he
How's your handwriting?
Mine?
Yeah,
Oh, mine's immaculate.
perfect.
It'll take you about 2 hours to write up this report, which counts as a forgery.
You trained in forgery?
Are we trying not to tell them about the rat guy?
Only Louis. I don't want them to go after Louis.
Why? What if he was the one who was telling her to kill people?
I mean, he almost certainly was, but he's just a poor, sad, deranged rat.
So the poor, sad, deranged woman is gonna pay the price for the sword. The poor, sad, deranged rat.
Okay, she did kill her husband and neighbors and cut them up and feed them to him. I do think she's more guilty.
Without him, she probably wouldn't have murdered people.
Maybe she would have just like gone off the deep end all on her own later.
I'm just saying, like,
I don't know.
we didn't investigate him enough to clear him of we don't know him. He's not a nice guy. He's just a little rat that told a nice lady to go kill her family. And for whatever fucking reason, she did it.
Awesome. Bunk, bunk, bunk.
Yeah. I just feel bad.
Okay.
But you're writing the letter, so.
Yeah, it's up to you.
No one will investigate.
We weren't even supposed to investigate this. You were the one who decided to impersonate them.
You
could have cleared it up in 10 seconds.
Wait, what?
You could have cleared this whole thing up in 10 seconds, but no, you're like, yes, we are definitely here for the job, and we were definitely not here for the job.
You know,
And
I
now
think we
we've
could
done the
actually
job.
tell her. I think we could actually tell her.
No.
Just be like, listen, we have a horrible
Oh, you did not tell her yet. If you plan to tell her, you can.
I think we could. We'd just be like, we have a horrible confession. It sounded really cool, and so we did it, but we're not really the people who were supposed to, but it is done. I think we should do that, and maybe she would give us the money instead of sending it to House Street Food, because we're the ones that actually helped her, and we did it in such a timely manner.
I'm just saying, this could have been cleared up when everyone decided I'm brooding and can't talk, but let's just.
You're the one that decided you're brooding and can't talk. I didn't decide that.
Azalea, what is your
She broods and doesn't talk.
What is your society check? What's the score? Like the plus what? Don't roll it for me. Don't roll it. Just tell me what the bonus is.
Society for 4.
Okay. So, are you going to go make this document now?
Yeah.
Okay. Cyra, are you going to bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a long, whatever people do to bathe here. If it's a bath, sure. If it's a sponge bath, sure. Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a sponge bath. There's not really a bathhouse here. But yeah, you do that. Azalea, you spend the next couple of hours because you're writing this in haste. Normally, a forgery would take quite a bit longer than this.
Why is it a forgery?
This is not an official document, and you're writing it as an official document.
Technically.
Yeah. So,
Well, I just wasn't sure if it was like, well, because you're lying, or if it's like because we're not supposed to be here. And I
there's
guess-
a couple of things factoring in here. It's an official document that is not actually an official document. So you're forging that, and you're choosing to omit information, which is a lie. So I'm factoring that in as well.
I'm not omitting information. Okay, I'm omitting the fact that we let him.
So you're putting Louis in there.
We saw him,
Okay.
but that is it.
Okay.
So they know of a we don't know the name. They know of a rat, a big rat that probably was the reason that she killed people.
Okay. Cool. So before you go to bed, it appears that this looks pretty damn good, actually. Yeah, seems good enough.
I know my document.
So you guys all sleep relatively peacefully through the night. Tor, you end up tossing and turning quite a bit because it's getting cold outside at night, and it's very strange. You wake up every few hours for a few minutes as the shadows move strangely in the moonlight, and the trees are just not something. There's something more to this forest that you just haven't put a finger on yet, but nothing harms
You get a
you.
full night's rest,
No-
unimpeded.
Nothing harms you. So those of you missing any HP, get your level plus your con back for health. Otherwise, you guys can take your hour in the morning to do things. I am going to let's take a 5-minute break. For food, water, restroom, etc., etc. Okay, I shall return. Yeah, you guys sleep through the night. Also, Tor and Danny, on your little tour of the town, I forgot to mention this, but you guys passed. There's 2 temples in the town as well. You didn't really get close enough to see what they were because you were more interested in finding some place to stay, and probably not going to stay in the temple full of the town of vampires. So, but there are 2 temples in town, at the center of the town.
Sweet.
And then you didn't see anything that looked like a store, but you weren't really looking for it. So there might be one, but again, you weren't really looking for that. But yeah, everybody takes their hour to do their things in the morning. Tor, you're on the edge of town, kind of out by yourself.
Yeah, I'll use my hour to just come back to the inn, and I'll just sit outside.
Okay.
I'll wait for them to come out.
Yeah, you're able to do that. Nobody stops you. Nobody gets in your way. People kind of give you a funny look as you wander around the town. Not really wander, but pass through the town. All these people going to work in the morning, and they're like, "Who the hell is this guy?" But they see your badge and they leave you alone. You other 3, wake up. Take your time for your spells and for your alchemist things.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do in the morning?
Eat.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah, I want. Yeah.
a copper piece to eat. But there's some stew and whatnot. Go ahead, Danny.
I'm gonna go try to check on Tor and see if we could all have breakfast together to kind of plan our day.
So Tor, or Danny, you're worried about Tor, and as you try not to run out the door, you get 2 steps outside and you just see Tor leaning up against the wall.
Hey man, how'd you sleep?
I've slept better. Yeah.
Sorry, I got caught
It's
up
pretty
here.
cold. I don't blame you. It was really cold last night.
I mean,
Well,
no, I was
that
just
fire.
I was coming back, but I just got tied up. I was real busy. Anyway,
Why are you a
That's understandable.
compulsive liar?
let's do
I love it.
let's do breakfast and find out what we're gonna do today, or
All right,
whatever.
I've got some rations here.
Can we eat together? Can you even walk in the door? Is this a thing where you have to be invited inside, or
I'm not sure what kind of thing you're talking about. But
Vampires, can't they
I
like?
will. I'll come in.
Can't vampires like not come in your house unless they're like invited? I don't know. Whatever. Let's go.
Yeah, you step inside and it's a copper piece for breakfast as Tiffany starts handing out like little meat rolls and there's some stew there and she fries up some eggs for you guys. Is there anything? Lorenzo and Leon are also down here. They're sitting at a table kind of on their own, but I mean you can go sit with them if you guys want.
I do. I don't have anything to say. I just like them.
Yeah, they smile and good morning. Hey, good morning. It's good to see you. And they're eating and
Do I see Gabriella?
yeah, she's behind the bar. She's just kind of like chilling. She's not really doing anything.
I'm gonna go slip the report over.
And she quietly takes it. You see her eyes move as she scans it, and then she scans it again. She looks at you, looks down at it. She carefully rolls it and like tucks it into her apron. And she nods. She doesn't say anything.
I'm gonna go back to my seat then.
Okay. Cool. So as you all sit down around the table, the food's pretty good. It's nice and warm and it's filling. Lorenzo and Leon don't really say too much of anything. They keep their mostly not to themselves necessarily, but they're engrossed in eating and they're still waking up. But it appears that they're getting pretty much ready to go. And Lorenzo says, well, last night I told the ladies this, but some of the peasants have some leads. There's allegedly an underground structure to the northeast of here, about 2 hours. And there is one on top of a hill, like a 3-story structure to the southeast of here, about an hour's walk. They don't have any very specific directions or anything of that note. They were both too terrified to really go in and search the place or anything like that. I really don't know which way to go here. Both sound fairly credible. And Leon speaks up. And, well, I think the northeast one would probably be our best bet. It's underground, and ruins are usually not standing high and 3 stories tall, especially if they're ruins. But whichever one you think, dear. And, of course, Lorenzo just looks at him and... I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to check both of these. What about all you? I understand that you still want to come with us. We have 2 options, and, well, which one we want to go with first? My professional curiosity would drive me to both of them, I think.
East sounds pretty good to me.
Did you?
They're both east. Which, northeast or southeast?
I said northeast.
Did you come inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Way to pay attention.
Yeah, he did come inside.
My bad.
And also, Discord made it only so I just heard east. I was like, what?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, okay.
The easterly one. Sounds good to me.
Southeast. That way, if it is fake, we know right away it's closer. We can still trek to the north one within a day. If we go 2 hours out of our way, 3 hours out of our way, that's a lot of travel time. Start with the one. If it's fake, then go 3. We save time.
Also, the House of Horrors had a scary basement, and I don't want to go.
Lorenzo looks at you, Danny. What's your opinion?
I don't know. I mean, one's underground and one's not. Is that true?
Say south.
That
Say
appears.
south.
It appears to be the case.
Well, then I think Azalea's got a good point that we're talking about one that's closer. And if it's the real one, then we don't have to go so far. But then again, I think Lorenzo saying the thing about the one above ground?
It did, yeah. he was just
Yeah.
ruins are normally below the ground, but you know.
So Lorenzo's got a point.
You have to be a tiebreaker. Sorry.
I think that, and I'm just gonna sit there and kind of look at my feet for a second, and then look up, and I look at Tor, like looking for like an answer, like help, like.
I am down to investigate both, just because you never know what you're going to find. However, Lorenzo is correct in that ruins are not standing, generally speaking. They are, been buried over. Typically as an archaeologist, we have to unearth these ruins and clean them off and be very delicate, 'cause you don't know what's going to be buried in the ground.
What here is normal? It's gonna be a standing ruin, and you're gonna sit there stupid when I'm right.
So let's go southeast, and then we'll
I
go
will
northeast because
probably
it's
be
kind of on
standing.
the way. I'm going southeast. That's where I'm going to go. I'll see y'all later. Let's go.
the dwarves look at each other. They just laugh, and Lorenzo says, "All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Just finish your breakfast. Go ahead."
Is Tiffany in the room?
Tiffany and Gabriella are both in the room.
I'm going to address Tiffany and ask her if there's a store in town, or where the store is in town.
Oh yes, of course. There is the general goods store. It is it's on the southeastern edge of town, actually. And let me see if I can find it properly. Yes, Lupadure General Goods. Owned by the Trifu family, as is everything on the eastern side of town, other than this inn, of course. But yes, that's fairly low-grade items, mostly just for the people who live here. But there are some other things that you might be interested in.
Thank you.
She nods. With that, the dwarves push back from the table, and they have their packs with them, and they shoulder them, and they're like, the packs are nearly as large as they are, as they kind of start trekking out the door.
Are you going back here to sleep, or are we sleeping at the ruins?
And they look at each other, and then says, "Well, I expected to sleep out there in the woods, and thus the ginormous
That suits
backpack.
me.
But just in case we go through it in a day, then well, that makes it easy, I suppose." And they start walking out the door.
Yeah, I'll follow them and then say I want to stop at that general store, so we can maybe stock up on potions or whatever.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And I'm also looking for those healer tools.
Yes, I do recall that. Yep.
I'm gonna look at their cloaks.
Okay. Cool. So you guys
Or capes.
head down one of the smaller roads, looking for, this general goods store, and it doesn't take too long to, actually get you there. It's pretty close, actually. Like I said, it's a small town, and it appears to have just opened. And you see some neat shelves through the windows, lined with mostly it looks like farming equipment. There's some like food there. There's like rope and stuff like that. It seems to be literally just a very generic set of goods. But yes, they have, it seems, most things that you guys want. And as you step in, there's a pale gentleman. He's wearing like this kind of pine green and black breeches. And he says, "Oh, good morning, my friends. Welcome to the general goods store. What can I get for you all today? I understand that you are new around these parts. There's already stories going around of the four. Well, I guess it's 6 of you, really. 6 strangers. Dwarves are common through here as travelers, but really, the rest of you are quite strange indeed. Welcome to the town. I am Adrian. It is very nice to meet all of you. What can I get for you?"
Hello, Adrian. I am Tor, and I'm looking for healer's tools if you have them, and then any health potions that you might have as well.
Ah, yes, healer's tools, of course. I think I have some of those. You never know what you need sometimes on your travels. And he kind of goes towards the back and he starts rummaging around and he takes out a small wooden box and he takes it out and he puts it on the counter. He says, this will be 5 gold coins, please. I will look for potions. I will look for potions as we go. He takes the coins and he like picks up the box and he hands it to you. Now, other than potions, is there anything that anybody else would enjoy collecting?
I'm looking for a cloak.
A cloak. What kind of cloak? Just a wearable cloak. What kind of? What are you looking for?
I want the cloak of feline rest.
That sounds quite magical, and we don't really have a need for that here. I'm sorry. I can put out word for any traders that are coming through that we can possibly find something of that nature. And the tall woman with the green hair is looking for. Do you have a name?
Yes.
May I?
I knew you were going to do that.
May I know,
knew it.
May I know that name?
I knew it.
No, I don't need to know the name. Okay.
It's Azalea.
Azalea. Ah, very well. Then he actually takes out a piece of like parchment and he scribbles it down. And he says, "I will keep this in mind." And he just kind of puts it near his small little cash box. What else? Is anybody else looking for anything?
Yep. I want some stuff. Do you have any pythons, little things you put in rock?
Pythons. Indeed, I do have some pythons. Sometimes things need to be moved or climbed. Let me see. And he starts rummaging through, trying to find his pythons. More like I'm trying to find the price of pythons. And that would be. Yes, yeah, 1 copper piece each. Okay.
Sweet. I want 5 of those.
He takes out a bundle of 10 and then he separates it into a pile of 5. Okay.
And can I get a bar of soap?
Very well. Certainly we could do soap.
And then I also need how about no, do I want that? Not really. Hold on. And I'm like still kind of looking around and thinking.
Okay, well, I will leave those aside. That would be 7 coppers for now. As for healing potions, I have 10. 10 minor healing potions. 4 gold pieces each. I would be willing to give 10 for, say, 35 gold pieces if you were to buy all of them.
You guys want to pitch in on a group buy? I hear you, Slugger.
Yeah, I realized it wasn't picking up for some reason. Yeah, I think that would be good. Is there any way you could do less than 35? I know it's a deal, but it's still a bit steep.
Well, for 10 of these potions, which I do not make myself, by the way, I get these from the capital. Normally, I wouldn't even be doing that, but well, you see, these things are expensive on their own. I'm afraid I won't be able to go any lower. You're getting 1 and a little bit more for free. And Lorenzo steps up and he just like puts 5 gold coins into your hands, or onto the counter rather. He goes, "Well, we'll pay for some of this."
I'll match it. I'll put 5 down.
Yeah, same.
It's 20 left. Leon rolls his eyes and he puts down 5. There's 15 left.
15 gold?
Yep, 15 gold.
Ooh.
I will add 3 more gold.
Yep.
So if you guys each did 6 gold.
Yeah, I'll put 3 gold in reluctantly.
Okay. There's 9
I
left.
I also want a hammer and a grappling hook.
Azalea, you gonna get on this group buy?
And then Leon and Lorenzo have both put in 5, and look at each other, and they both put in another 3. So there's 3 gold pieces left.
3.
Okay. Leon and Lorenzo each take one, and then they leave the rest for you guys to divvy up. Okay, so you each get 2 if you divvy it up.
2 what?
2 healing potions, minor.
Okay.
And you wanted a hammer and what?
A grappling hook.
Okay.
I assume that doesn't come with rope. I've already got rope.
It does not come with rope. Okay. Okay. So between your pythons, your grappling hook, your hammer, and your soap, that would be 2 silver pieces and 7 coppers, please.
Here you go. And I just throw it on the counter. I'm ready.
Cool. And he hands you all those goods. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Nothing you'd like to perhaps trade or sell? Very well.
Let me hold on 1 second, and then I try to grab. I guess whoever's nearest Tor out of our party, right?
Yep.
Not the dwarves.
Uh-huh.
I'll grab Tor. Tor. Should we try to sell this emerald? Like, don't say it too loud. I don't know. I mean, I've still got it. We could hold on to it for Louis, but
I agree with you.
okay.
I just kind of shake my head.
Okay. Nope, I'm good. I don't need anything. Thanks.
Okay. He says, well, I'm glad that I could be of service. Please, if you need anything else while you're in town, stop by. You guys head out toward the southeast edge of town. Okay, cool. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're traveling?
I do not.
Okay. What are you doing? Marlena came up here and she's hiding on the floor, crawling around, trying to.
I want to use my newfound healer's tools
Okay.
while we're traveling and do a treat wounds healing fully and get rid of this wounded condition, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So it says spend 10 minutes treating one individual creature. It says the medicine check DC is usually 15.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, all right. And I don't think I made it. Nope. 9.
Okay. Big oof.
Yeah.
So as you guys, go ahead.
Sorry. Tor, you might know this, or maybe Leon or Lorenzo. It's about vampire culture again. What do you think Gabriella's response would be if we just confessed that we were not really the people sent to investigate the crime, so that maybe we would get the reward instead of being sent to House Trifu? Just be like, it sounded cool, and so we did it.
What would Tor know, like, as far as how vampires would take it if finding out that we deceived them?
So just based on your current knowledge of affairs, it probably wouldn't be received well. Even though you've done the job, right? You lied by omission of saying, hey, we're totally here for that, rather than being like, no, that's not what we're here for, but we can help you anyway. So yeah, lying to nobility is bad anywhere, generally speaking. Here, you figure it'll be a negative response, but probably better than if the people she actually hired got here and then she found out. Also, asking for payment is probably not going to happen. It was a contract that was made with the house. You guys are allegedly representing that house.
They do represent.
The point being,
It's context.
Honestly, Sarah, here's what I expect will happen is they'll be very upset with us. They may even try to kill or imprison us. they're probably going to do that anyway. So we're probably going to be on the run because at some point, the people who are actually doing this for their house, Kira, are going to show up and say, "Hey, we're here," and we're going to be found out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, honesty is usually a better answer. So we could probably better to come clean than for them to find out, or just not worry about it and be on the run.
Ever come back to this town again?
Yes. And if Danny wants to try his poison on a vampire, we could try it on her.
I think he gave the poison away.
He gave a dose of the poison away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe. Trying to think of how to poison a vampire with it. I don't want to like throw it in their face because that would just be kind of obvious.
Probably in their blood or something. She's probably got a supply of blood somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I know. We could get it. We could poison a person they're about to eat, and then they eat the person, and then they're poisoned. Ha! Genius.
Isn't that just poisoning their drink with more steps?
That's true.
The dwarves are fairly silent. They weren't really. They were privy to the of the whole fact that you went and did a job for them. They weren't really privy to the other background happenings of what your alleged representation is or isn't. So they're just kind of like. Now you can see that they're kind of worried a little bit. They may have picked up with criminals, and they just kind of realized that. They're not the most streetwise people. Yeah, they're like not the most streetwise people, and they're just kind of finding out now. Like, oh no, this could be bad.
Do we see that reaction?
Oh yeah, they're like looking at. It's very clear that they're worried.
I agree, friends. It's probably best to be worried now. No, I wasn't a big fan of what we did, but they wanted to do it, so here I am. We stick together for the most part.
Don't you even blame this on me. I didn't even want to be here. Fuck all of you.
they're like now they're real confused. They have no idea what's happening anymore, and they're just like, we're just gonna. You can still come with us, but like, don't do anything else illegal. We're going now. They just start walking.
We were already on the road.
Like you guys had just left the.
Oh, okay. We literally just hit the boundary town.
Yeah, you hit the edge of the town and
yeah.
and you're like about to go into the woods and then you guys.
Here's this huge loaded question.
To who?
No, sorry. That was me describing what I already asked.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, they enter the woods. Are you guys following?
Yeah, we follow.
Okay.
Yep. I'll follow right behind.
Okay. Azalea, you following?
Well, they've already dragged me this far out of my way. I might as well go.
Danny, are you following?
We don't even know where your way is.
Definitely. Yeah, following.
And Cyra, I presume you're also going?
Very slowly and hesitantly, though. I keep thinking that maybe I should go back and just tell her right now.
Well, as you...
Take what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna, I don't want anyone to come with me in case it's... And I'm gonna tell them, though. It's like, I don't want anyone to come with me just in case it's really bad.
Okay. The dwarves just stop.
We're not gonna fight her.
And they exit the woods, and they just lean on a tree, and they just sit, and they're like, we'll be here. Good luck. Don't die. Or do.
Or do.
They just shrug.
Yeah,
It's nice knowing you.
So
I feel like it's been pretty traumatic, all things considered.
So Cyra, you run back.
Is she there?
You open the door, and yeah, she's there. She's
You want to bet she knows because of the forgery?
Can
How
I?
would you know? My job was
Can
perfect.
I-
Any one of you could have spoke up.
Can I talk to you privately?
And Tiffany's in the room, and Gabriella looks at her, and she just gets out from behind the bar, and she gestures for you to follow.
I follow.
And she heads towards the back of the inn, and there's it looks like to be her room, or at least maybe an office or something. And she opens the door and kind of gestures you in. And she closes the door. She locks the door. And then she goes and sits behind her desk. And you see there's bookshelves in here covered in scrolls and other books. And there's a little bit of light. There's a candle that's flickering in there. She's got looks like maybe a coin purse or a bag of something on the desk, and there's a bunch of documents on it. And she just kind of sits there. And she leans back in her chair. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at you.
I know you probably already know, but I still have to tell you. We weren't the party sent to solve the problem. We got some weird cryptic message on the road, and I don't know why, but it was scary, and so I thought that fixing whatever the Trifu house was supposed to fix was better than just being honest. We did fix the problem, though. It is done. But it wasn't supposed to be us. And it had nothing to do with the dwarves. They're just honest little... I shouldn't call them little. I'm sorry, I don't want to do... They're just honest scholars. And it's not my friend's fault either. I'm the one that has no impulse control.
Roll a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'm going to use my hero point to roll that again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was a 3, so hopefully I don't roll worse. Okay, this time it is an 24.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, I rolled a 16 this time.
So, her eyes are this kind of golden color, and they're very pretty to look at. And as you're talking through this, you're kind of losing your train of thought in her eyes, and she you see the blood vessels in her eyes start to get more red, and then finally her eyes just kind of glaze over this red color, and you can see her gripping her desk, and you hear the wood kind of creak a little bit, and she just she stands up, and she walks around behind you, and she just very slowly unlocks the door, just opens the door, and she stands out of the way.
I'm going to count out and immediately leave.
And yeah, you flee the scene. You don't hear her or anything behind you, but you look back as you leave, and she's just she followed you out. And even as you leave the inn, she's standing. She stands outside the door, just watching. Very, very clearly pissed off, but she doesn't seem to have any other type of reaction.
It's there's no banner. This action will have consequences.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. So
okay, do I catch up with everyone?
Oh, they stopped. They stopped at the edge of town, waiting for you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I confessed everything. She's real mad, but she let me out, so probably fine. And Leanna and Lorenzo, she knows you had absolutely nothing to do with any of it, and my other friends, she knows that this is my fault. So I have no impulse control.
The dwarves nod at each other, and they're all right. Let's go.
We'll see if that means anything, but thank you.
So you guys head out of town, and the sounds of Lupadure quickly fade into the darkness behind you. The trees surround you, and you have to pick your way carefully over the knotted roots that are grasping at your ankles. The wind whistles through the trees, and the autumn beginning to strip some of the leaves from these trees. Your feet sink into the moist loam as you find a confluence of game trails. I need somebody to roll a survival check.
I can do it.
Yeah,
Not very good. 13.
Leon and Lorenzo aren't entirely sure where to go. Danny, you start kind of going off to the left, and then Azalea, you remember you said that they said it was uphill, and there's only one of these trails that goes uphill, so you quickly grab him by the back of his collar and kind of drag him up a different trail.
Nope.
you guys press onward and upward. It's relatively uniform, and but it's a gentle slope, kind of upward. Uh, the air, kind of cloying deep in the woods, is getting easier to breathe as you climb up, and the underbrush is beginning to kind of thin out. And it's just over an hour or so of trekking when you feel the ground beginning to level off again. The wet leaves kind of slide under your feet as a structure seems to suddenly rise out of the ground before you. The trees here are incredibly thick, and previously hidden behind those trees, the structure resembles a sort of temple. You see a single steeple at the rear of the building, or at least what you think is the rear, rising above the treetops. And the rest of this stone structure appears to be roofed in moss-covered shingles. There is an orb of silver that is kind of resting atop the steeple, and you can see the windows on the inside kind of lit by a strange white light. The roughly rectangular structure is aligned east to west, and you can see a large pair of double doors made of dark wood, seemingly the only entrance inside.
Sir Paddington.
Sir Paddington. You'll have to get closer to see anything more, but it appears you have found the structure you were looking for.
Does anybody recognize what temple this is? Do I know anything about it?
The
No,
dwarves.
but I just know that I was right.
Dwarves are going to recall their knowledge. They look at you, Tor specifically, and they both shrug. They say, we have no idea. This is not what I was expecting.
I would say, Azalea, it doesn't look very runish to me. There's a light on in there.
Are we gonna have a fight?
I mean, if you want.
I would.
What if we go investigate the light?
Are there any symbols or anything?
Pretty text.
So you guys are gonna have to get closer to see anything of that nature. Tor, you could do a recall knowledge or lore religion, or anybody can if you want. I know you asked the question of everybody, so
14.
this doesn't appear to be any deity that you recognize. It looks like an older construction for certain, but yeah, you're not sure. If it was, go ahead.
Occultism? Can I try occultism?
Sure, you can try occultism.
I will try occultism.
Okay.
Am I able to discern anything based on the way that it's built, like maybe how old it is or something like that?
So Cyra, what'd you get? And I'll answer that in a second, Tor.
An 18.
Okay. Danny, what'd you get? Less?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
This, you're not entirely sure what any of this could really mean. The orb at the top of the steeple is probably anything from a lightning rod to a symbol. Honestly, you're not entirely sure. You'll have to get much closer to really parse out any writing or any symbols on the walls or anything like that. You just see the structure partially through the trees. In Tor, let me see. Based on your knowledge of archaeology and whatnot, this appears to be maybe like 100-year-old, 200-year-old structure. It's not ancient by any means.
Structure doesn't appear to be too old from hell, this thing's younger than I am. It's only about 100 years old or so.
How old are you?
Yeah, let's not talk about that now. Ask me over some frosty beverage.
Are you guys gonna move closer, or what are you guys doing?
You guys just want to walk up there, or you guys want to kind of sneak up there? There's a light on, so there could be somebody in there.
What is Lorenzo and what do they think?
They are looking at the structure more in confusion than anything else. And Lorenzo speaks up and he says, I I have no idea what this could possibly even be. Like you said, there's a light on inside for certain. I don't know what to do here.
Maybe it's a Motel 6.
We could perhaps move inside. I mean, worst that could happen is that we stumble on some crazy cult of evildoers and we all get eaten. Best thing that could happen is we're welcomed in with open arms and nothing terrible happens. But I think I am all down for maybe creeping there silently.
Right.
And they like crouch down and do their best to be quiet as they kind of pad all the metal on themselves and we can roll their stealth checks. Okay. Yeah, and they start creeping, not silently, but fairly quietly in all the underbrush and leaf cover. Is anybody else going to join them?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Ooh,
Yep.
Yeah, I'll speak up.
35.
very nice.
Wasn't bad. 20. Dirty 20.
23 dirty.
Okay,
Super dirty.
17.
okay. So
Yeah, my stealth is actually pretty decent.
yeah, especially for a barbarian.
Yeah. Especially for a dude that's like 6'4".
Yeah. Your grayish skin kind of blends in with some of the trees as you kind of like move from tree to tree and try to
Pretty
stick to
light.
the underbrush.
Or lit.
You guys push forward and Danny, you seem to be the jumpy one of the bunch, and as you're moving forward, you have a sense that something might be off here, and you guys, it looks like there's a clearing around this building, like maybe 30 or 40 foot wide, just all the way around it. And as you get towards the edge of these trees, Danny, you kind of you stop and you can see at the doorway, previously hidden by underbrush, there are two humanoid figures standing by the door, slightly hunched, with looks like they're wearing like leather armor. They have weapons sheathed at their side. It looks like maybe long swords, but they're lupine in appearance. They have like this grayish brown fur, and they're standing, just it seems like keeping guard outside the door.
Can we see the steeple any better? Or whatever.
Yeah, you can see the steeple a little bit better. What are you looking for?
Just anything. What does it look like again? Or what does it look like now? Does it look any different?
Yeah, so it's shingled in like a kind of a dark black, but it's mostly mold covered and moss and stuff like that. The silver orb on the top, you realize that it's textured somehow, but you're not close enough to make out. You'd have to be like holding it to really make out the texture that it has. You can see that it's not smooth. Beyond that, there's nothing. There's some symbology on the doors, but again, you can't really make it out. It looks like carvings of beasts or something. It's really hard to see. But yeah, that's pretty much what you can see here.
I don't think this is where we're supposed to go. I mean, we may be in for a fight. Do we want to do that?
We could try them like last time.
You could
Should
what?
I just yell?
What?
Say that again, Cyra? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Oh, we could try talking to them again like last time.
I think you should try in Sylvan before I try in Undercommon.
Well, first, do we want to try to talk to them?
Leon and Lorenzo just kind of look at each other, and they look at the two creatures over there, and I mean, if they're there, and we're in their woods, they probably know we're here already. And they're like, mostly, rather than looking at this temple, they're looking all around them in the woods, and they're back to back right now, like very clearly on edge. And Lorenzo says, we should leave.
Okay.
So,
Um,
We're gonna sneak up to the north.
Go back down the way that you came. Is that what you're saying? Danny, you look like you're thinking hard over there.
No, I'm good. If we want to leave, we can leave.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of slowly backing down the hill, let's see what we can see here.
I need you to roll initiative.
No.
Good time.
Azalea, as you're kind of leading the way back down the hill, not only are you trying to watch your own step, but you're trying to make sure that your companions aren't being too noticeable. And as you're kind of going down this game trail, you hear some sound out in front of you, like somebody stepped on a twig. Is what it sounds like. Maybe 15 yards out in front of you, somewhere in the underbrush.
I'm gonna motion for everybody to hide.
Yeah, Leon and Lorenzo immediately just step into the underbrush. It's kind of loud with all their packs on and stuff, but they disappear from sight as best as they can.
Oh, that's the best I can get. All right,
What about the rest of you?
I'm hiding.
Yeah, I'll kind of stop and hide behind a tree.
Yep, hide.
I want to look as non-threatening as possible, and I'm gonna kind of be towards a tree, under a bush.
So you're not hiding?
I think there's any point hiding, but I want to be very clear. I'm not threatening. I'll hide. It's fine. I'll do what
Okay.
Groot does.
Oh, that's fine. I
don't want to attract additional attention.
Okay.
Fetal position under a bush. Like, oh god, I'm not threatening.
I suspect they know we're here, but
Okay. So as you guys are hiding, and as you guys are watching, Azalea, you spy two figures come out from around some underbrush, walking up the hill towards you. And you actually recognize one of these people. And I want to make sure I actually have this description correct. Yeah, so a large human man. You had only seen him at a distance. He's got this kind of unkempt salt and pepper hair. He's wearing beige trousers and the same color tunic. And Danny, you recognize this as the farmer from
Yup.
the edge of Necroy. Well, not necessarily the farmer. It's more like the farmer's friend.
the visitor,
The
yeah.
visitor.
The lumberjack.
The lumberjack looking guy. And he has not one axe, not two axes. He has 3 axes on him. So he's got one double-headed axe on his back. And he's got 2 hatchets.
Means he can move in any direction. But
Aha! So he's they're resting on his hips, and he is walking with another person. This other person is I gotta find it. Okay. Yeah, really. So this other person looks much younger than him. He looks similar to the farmer and his wife, probably a relative somehow. But yeah, he's wearing just this kind of a red trouser, red trousers and kind of almost a crimson colored tunic. It's they're slightly different colors. One of them is maybe much older than the other. And he's also got a wood cutting axe on his shoulder. He's carrying it openly. And he's also got a hunting bow on his back, and it appears he's got a quiver full of arrows. And they're not talking. They're not saying anything. but you at least recognize the first visitor. This other guy, like I said, looks familiar, as in he looks similar to the farmers, probably related somehow. But
Neither of them have two different colored eyes.
no, they do not.
Damn it. Okay.
It's an important question, but no, they do not. And they as they walk by you, specifically you, Cyra, you are attempting to hide and also look non-threatening at the same time, and they get up just about up to your position, and the elder of the two stops, and you can hear him. It's very strange. He's like attempting to smell the air. It's very deep, sniffling smells, and he looks pretty much right at you through the foliage, and you can see his eyes squint, and then he turns to his companion, kind of nudges him a little bit, and then they keep walking up the hill. And they get out of sight. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should leave.
Continue departing. Proceeding as
I don't know. Are we talking like are we out of the bushes and talking quietly?
You can be.
Hey, so I know that guy. He's a lumberjack. I almost sold him some cigars, but he doesn't, or maybe he does. I don't know. I think I just gave him cigars. Regardless, I get the feeling these people are like werewolves, and I don't know, but maybe werewolves are good at fighting vampires, and if you don't like vampires, we should maybe be friends with werewolves.
there were a lot of maybes in there.
Say it again. Sorry.
There were a lot of maybes in there.
There were, but they know we're here, so at this point,
Yeah, I feel like he stared into my soul.
Seems to happen a lot.
I say we go talk to him. Just say hi. I mean, it's what time is it? Is it what time? Is it
It's like
or night?
late morning. Yeah, so it's like 10 or 11 in the morning.
Yeah, we just go talk to these guys.
Are werewolves considered undead? They're not, right?
No. So, all of you would just know this from like rhymes and fairy tales that lycanthropy, is a curse. It's considered a magical curse that most people don't have control over. So yeah, if those were in fact were creatures, then either they're choosing to be in that form or for some reason are cursed to be in it. Though, you know that this is more of a full moon sort of deal, and it is like the middle of the day, so you're not 100% sure what's going on here.
All right. I mean, if you guys are okay, I'm gonna try to catch up and say hi. Can we do that?
Yep.
Aren't we escorting people? This is not our job.
Okay. All right. We'll come back here later, maybe.
You can.
Okay.
Lorenzo's
The
just
building's moving.
they both shrug, and then they just kind of start going back down the hill.
I'm just saying they're not vampires, so that's a good thing. But
I agree with that.
we'll come back another day, maybe.
So you guys take the next hour or so to get back to town. Nothing else seems to bother you or stop you on the way back. It's like noon by
I'm
the
not
time you
entering
get back.
town.
Okay, you're just gonna
I'm
go
going on
around.
the outskirts. I'm going to. Yeah, no one else needs to do that, but I literally am not going to enter Everest.
Yeah, the rest of them do their best to follow you around. Yeah, it's it doesn't take long. As soon as you kind of cross the old Imperial Highway and start that northeast heading, you immediately again lose sight. There are some more game trails that you can follow. So somebody wants to roll a survival check.
Well, with a 2, it's higher. It's only an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you guys just kind of like choose one out of all and you just go. Hopefully this is the one that'll lead you toward your goal. You're not sure. This area is hillier than the plains you had traversed a few days ago, and certainly harder to traverse than both the old Imperial Highway and the way up to whatever the hell temple that was. The air here is cloying and it's heavy with moisture and the scent of rot. There's downed trees covered in fairly mundane-looking fungi that make you kind of climb and weave your way through the spindly trees. The ground is mostly just a wet layer of like fallen leaves and pine needles, and you find yourselves again trekking uphill. And I need somebody else to roll another survival check. Who wants to do it?
Where do you think we should
I
go,
will.
Danny?
18. Sorry.
18. Okay.
14.
So, Cyra and Danny, you guys kind of get your heads together for a second and just make a decision. You remember that the peasant said that it was in a dell, and a dell is just kind of a small, tiny valley in a sense. So, yeah, we're going to go uphill. So, you guys head uphill. It's a little bit of
I was a singer.
That's funny. You split onto a lesser-used game trail, and you suddenly, as you get to the top of this hill, find that the trees are different. You're in a grove of these tall maple trees. Their leaves forming great piles by their trunks, crowning this hill, and then it seems like a next hill. The fall weather finally seems to be working to your advantage as you find yourselves atop the dell. The loam is just it is just a rain shower short of mud, so it's very moist, but not quite mud yet. And this is allegedly the area that this was. And Leon and Lorenzo they're gonna look. They're not gonna see shit, so they're just kind of standing there looking around. They don't see anything. Does anybody want to attempt to look for things? A shadowy entrance into the hill.
Are we doing perception or?
It would be it would be a perception. It'd be a seek action, but using perception. 22. I see that. Yep.
Less good.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Oh, are we all rolling?
You can if you want. You don't have to. You can just as easily stand there.
Just stand there.
Yeah. So
I'll let them seek.
you're enjoying the view and the cool air on your face now that it's not ice cold. But Cyra and Danny on the far side of the dell, down toward the bottom of the second hill. So you're on the first hill. So down and across, amongst the shadows cast by these, the underbrush is strange to you, but you see a yawning hole down into the earth at an angle. The wind picks up, and a haunting whistle of stirring leaves and the crowns of the trees shaking, and this air moving by this open cavern entrance into the ground. You have to get closer to really see what it is. But even from here, you can see that there are like laid stones kind of sunken into the earth here. And yeah, the dwarves they haven't seen it yet, and they're just kind of like, well, I guess we're gonna go down and look. So
I'm afraid of the underground, so I don't say anything.
they start heading downhill, not in any obvious direction, or as if they'd seen something. Danny, you'd seen this. You're just gonna let him go?
Let them go? Like, what do you mean go?
So they're heading downhill. It doesn't seem like they've seen the entrance. You and Cyra saw the entrance to this underground
okay,
place.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm definitely gonna tell them. Hey, there's a thing here. We should look.
and they're like halfway down the hill, and they were going the wrong direction, and they're like, what? And you're pointing at it, and oh, I see it now, and this is exactly what we are looking for. This is wonderful, and they start heading down that direction, kind of crashing through the underbrush. Really, they're not being any sort of stealthy.
No surprise there, I guess. So, shall we go, Danny? Nice find.
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
So it's like mid-afternoon at this point, and you guys, Azalea and Cyra, are you just gonna hang out at the top of the hill, or?
I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
stealth
a-
down.
You're gonna what?
Stealth. I'm
Oh.
trying not to be seen, but I am not.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check then for me. And Cyra, are you just following?
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near the front, but I also don't want to be left behind. So.
When we get to the edge before
Go ahead, Tor.
we descend down, I'm going to suggest that we take a break for some food, and also want to try my treat wounds again.
Yeah, so they I'll go through this first, but getting closer, you guys find that the entrance would have been well hidden in the spring or summer, and Danny and Tor, you guys actually make it there before the dwarves do, as you find a slightly better path down the hill. But thankfully, there's enough space here to be able to stage everyone on relatively flat ground. It's at the bottom of the dell, and the slick stone tells you that much of the rain from the other day drained down into this underground construction. You see like the different molds and lichens and mosses growing on the stone, and as you strain your eyes into the darkness, you can actually see that they provide just a little bit of light. I'm gonna roll perception checks. Okay, so Tor, as you kind of settle in and begin to suggest that people actually stop, you actually see that the stone, while extremely weathered, seems to have once had like runes or writing on it. It's kind of like forming a doorway. The doorway is kind of like at maybe a 40-degree angle, like it's placed into the ground, if that makes sense. It's not like straight up and down. It's like you descend down at an angle, but yeah. But you see, it looks to be runes or something.
Do these mean anything to you, Leon or Lorenzo? And I point out the ruins.
And they, what languages do you read, Tor?
Common, Elven, and Draconic.
Okay. Danny, are you gonna point these runes out to everybody, or you're just not hiding it? You're just asking them. I know you asked Leon and Lorenzo, but
Anybody that's paid attention to me asking them.
okay. Danny, what languages do you understand?
Goblin, Sylvan, Dwarven, Undercommon.
Okay. Azalea, what languages?
Just common and Sylvan. I'm not smart.
Okay. Cyra.
It's interesting we have a lot of Sylvan.
Elven and Sylvan. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Elven. Did I say Elven?
I think you said Sylvan,
meant
but that's
Sylvan.
okay.
You said Sylvan.
That's okay. We
My
understand. So Leon says, I cannot read these, but I think Lorenzo, I think that you can. I recognize the runes, but I cannot read them. And Lorenzo says, yes. Give me a few minutes. This might take some time to go through. So they like take their packs off, and he's gonna take a couple of minutes to try to parse out whatever these letters, these very, very faded and worn letters say. So besides Tor wanting to run his medicine check, is there anything you guys want to do in the couple of minutes that it's going to take him to do this?
No.
Okay. Tor, go ahead and roll your
It's
check.
stealthy.
Okay.
I got 22.
22?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're able to remove your wounded condition. And I believe you get the rest of the health HP back as well.
Yep.
Cool.
I only needed the 1 HP, but
Still, it's
Yeah.
important. You never know, man.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And so it's a few minutes you take you're messing with some of your old wounds, and you're putting a new poultice on it, and it seems to make you feel better, and the rest of you are just kind of like looking around, and trying not to get too close to the entrance, but not too far away from everybody else. And after maybe 10 minutes, Lorenzo says, I have it! I think. And so he kind of runs his hands along, and he actually climbs over the top of the doorway, and he runs his hands along it just to make sure he felt all the letters properly. He says, okay, I think it says that this place contains, well, it's either no danger or great danger. I'm not entirely sure. It's written in abyssals, so that's any indication, I suppose. I won't speak that language here, but it says that it is sealed, so that, and there's a few words missing, and then I think the last word there is protected, and there's some more missing. It says something enter and then something. I'm not really sure, and it ends with there's another few words missing, and it says power here. So this place contains either great danger or no danger. It is sealed and protected. Enter here and power here. There's too many other breaks in the language, I'm afraid.
Well, if I were a betting man, I'd bet it's great danger.
And the dwarves look at each other and they just, you're probably right. Well, we're going to go in. I would understand that if you didn't want to, with the alleged great danger, but without great danger, you'll never learn great things, right?
I agree. This is a fantastic opportunity.
So they shoulder their packs.
What, to bring about the end of the world again?
Again.
What do you mean again?
Well, can't be the first time it's almost ended. But this could be the successful one.
And they look at each other and say, "Well, the whole thing with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, I mean, yes, that happened, of course, but it was taken care of readily enough, and there are plenty of stronger people around than us, right? If something bad were to happen, well, I mean, at least our research would be written, wouldn't it?" And they look at each other and they and Leon's kind of that's maybe not the right way to think about it. My love, let's maybe take a minute about this. I know I want to go in there too, but this is much bigger than us. If we ask these people to come with us, they might be in danger. As for dangers, we're used to jumping into ruins of danger, I suppose. And
I obviously have no impulse control, so I'm going.
And they look to you, to Danny and Azalea.
Are you coming along, Danny?
Yes.
Yay.
They look to you, Azalea. You're crouched in the bushes beside the entrance,
Or I'm gonna die. But I'm gonna go.
Okay. So
Just think, you can tell us how wrong we are the whole time.
I will.
And there will probably
I
be
know.
plenty of evidence to point to.
And so you guys all are just watching the Slugger's camera just slowly descend.
My back hurts a lot.
No,
all the time.
I thought it was having a stroke or some shit as the camera was just slow. I was like, what's happening right now?
You're slow to send into that.
With the stripies on the side, my mind was breaking. Anyway, so yeah, you guys shoulder your packs and ready your weapons as you pass through the stone doorway into the darkness beyond. And
I'm going to cast Anticipate Peril.
and that is where we're going to
Peril,
end
I'm
today's
sorry.
session with the Anticipate Peril.